Hey, welcome to H7 Bus. My name is Nathaniel Welch, and this is Introducing Video Games. And today we're going to introduce you to
Is it my turn? I have to say something?
Metroid Fusion.
Metroid Fusion. Okay, cool.
Yeah. We are playing on the Switch. He's playing on the Switch, and we're going to play Metroid Fusion. All right, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. So I started playing this game when I was like 5. Maybe 4.
It was a long time ago.
I was given it... Oh, that's my... Let me do this. I was given the game by a friend of my dad's. And he didn't want it anymore, so he gave it to us. And then I started playing it on his save file, which I found myself, like, I don't know, maybe an hour into the game, which is a lot. So I was totally confused, and I didn't realize that, like, oh, this is where... I thought that was where the game started.
Yeah.
You know, because in my 5-year-old mind, that's just how it translated. I was wrong, obviously. But it is a great game with a great story. It was my first Metroid game. And I'm not going to read out the story. If you want to read it, I'm sure you could pause the video.
You can read it, yeah. No, it's crazy that you've literally played this game your whole life. And
yes.
I've said before, like, I mean, we had, in the second episode of Conversations on the Broken Couch, right, we talked about favorite video games. And forever, whenever you were asked, what's your favorite video game, you always said this game.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it makes sense. It's a solid entry in the franchise. Was innovative, but also, like, a handheld game you grew up playing, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, I really love it. I do.
I prefer how, like, you know, it's got a cool story. It's short. It's a short game.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the story. It's fun. My first time playing through it, I was never able to beat it. They have a boss that you guys will see later called Nightmare, which was kind of like the stuff of my nightmares for the longest time. I don't think I ever beat the game until I was 12. And usually whenever I was playing the game, it was either I was playing it on a separate file or I was watching my dad play it over his shoulder.
Yeah.
So everything that I kind of learned in the beginning were from him, and he grew up playing OG Metroid. So, yeah, I'm saying a lot. I'm noticing that. The music is great too. I love the music. But I'm pretty sure that this game didn't like get a very great reception because it was kind of like more story based.
Like it did get super great reception, but the one thing everybody said was like, why is it so linear? And we'll get to that. Sure. But it's so interesting how this is just a total side tangent. Like, Dad actually beat the original Metroid on the NES. Yep. And I can never imagine beating that game.
I have I have tried before and I gave up many times. Games back then were just a different breed.
They're just hard.
Zero Mission, which was the remake of the original, was fun.
Great. That's great. Yeah. And I think some of it too is back in the day, like a huge part of video games was the manual.
Yeah.
And I think, if I'm correct, Metroid did come with a map. But for us, we're used to having the map in the game. And so in the modern day, when you don't have the map in your hands still, like, when you try to play that game without the manual, without the map, like, it's crazy. So it's just difficult. But this game is obviously not that. So tell you a little bit about this. Metroid Fusion was released in North America on November 17th, 2002.
Wow.
It came out in EU 5 days after that, and then AU 7 days after that.
What's AU? Alternate universe?
Like Australia, Oceania, New Zealand, like that area.
Okay.
It's got a name for it. I think it's like Australasia or something. I probably butchered that. I don't remember, but it's something like that. And then Fusion finally released in Japan on February 14th, 2003. And I think that's super interesting because normally, Nintendo games, especially games that are developed by like a Japanese company, come out in Japan first, and then we usually get it a few weeks or months later. But this game, we got this game 4 months before Japan did.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just different. But, I mean, I'm obviously happy about it. But you probably didn't play this game when you were 2. Like you already said you were 4 or whatever. But
Yeah. All right, here we go. So, I love all like the scenic stuff in the back. It's so cool.
we were talking about it the other day. How
I'll go over that
we've
again.
spent. I feel like we've spent our whole lives playing this game and I've never paid attention to the backgrounds.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, look at all this stuff. It's cool.
There's a
What's
hidden
up, man?
thing there.
Oh.
You don't come here till later on.
Later, and you speed
But,
boost through that. Yeah,
yeah.
that's right.
That's there. Let's see.
Cool thing that was added to this game
Okay.
that I really like is the wall grab.
The wall grab, I really do like that.
You can't do
I-
that in other Metroid games,
Yeah.
right? I think
So-
you can in Dread.
Because yeah, you can in
But
Dread.
That makes sense that you can in Dread.
This game messed with me because, or I guess messed with me is the wrong term. I can't go through that door yet. Because when I went back to try and play like Super Metroid and stuff,
You couldn't grab.
I couldn't grab it. It
Yeah.
messed me up. Okay, so I got these things I call Scott-isms, and it's like these are the things that I noticed, or that my brain thought because I was like
As a
5
kid,
years old.
yeah.
So, we're in this little quarantine bay. I'm gonna kill this dude over here. Okay, he's dead. Eat the thing. I thought if you look at this and you know
The big
you kinda look at
containers in
this.
the background, yeah.
these are very clearly like glass containers, you know,
Yeah.
that held storage and like these little yellow things or big old
quarantine
boxes.
things, yeah.
I thought that these things here, I thought this was Mr. Freeze from Batman. Like I thought, okay, this was a little eye, this is a little mouth, and there could have been another eye here, but like
It's
like
broken.
slashed.
Yeah.
But it's like it's the big old blue tube. And growing up with like Batman the Animated Series, we had one episode on VHS, and it was one of the Mr. Freeze episodes. So for the longest time, I felt like Mr. Freeze was like the Batman villain. You
Is
know?
he your favorite Batman villain?
I don't know. That's probably.
He's a pretty good one narrative-wise, right?
I mean, I don't like any of the other villains like Deathstroke or anything. I think they're too. I don't know. They're fine. I'm not a big fan of the Joker. The Joker's whatever. Mr. Freeze was always like so fun for me because I like frost. I like ice stuff. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because I hate the frost section in this game. So, I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Mr. Freeze is a good choice.
He's a sympathetic villain too.
Yeah.
Because like everything he's doing, he's trying to save his
Wife.
his lady.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Like narratively, he's a really solid choice. You can tell a lot of stories with him. It's not just like, I mean, he is like a mastermind and a tactical genius and this crazy scientist.
Ooh, I did it first.
But he's
try.
also
Nope, can't go through there.
relatable in a
Yeah.
sense, right? Sympathetic. That's a good word.
Blah. No saving.
Yeah, so the whole thing, Metroid, is
Bang.
when you think of games that have like backtracking, where you go through a part of the game, and then later like unlock an ability and have to go back to another area to explore something you couldn't for like the main story, or maybe you want to go and like collect items and you have to go back through the game to like get all the items. Metroid is pretty much the game that started backtracking. I remember playing on the topic of Batman. First time I played Batman Arkham Asylum, and I was going for like the 100% collectibles run. I was like, this is kind of Metroidvania-ish in a way, which that term is coined to describe Metroid games and Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which like followed that same kind of backtracking, item leveling up formula. And this isn't just backtracking, but it's even the stuff you explore. You're constantly getting items. You're constantly getting stronger, and it ends up becoming a very like satisfying gameplay loop. This is like the kind of game that if I had to go back and do all this stuff again, I wouldn't be frustrated by it. I wouldn't feel like it's a waste of time because it's an intentional design choice,
Right.
and not padding. It's not just meant to pad out the time, right? These games, Metroidvanias, generally are pretty quick as well. You don't sit down and play them for 15 hours unless you're playing Super Metroid for the first time and just have no idea what you're doing. Been there. I think it took me like 9 the first time I played that game. But this game specifically is, yeah, it's not too long. And Metroid in general, if you've ever watched GDQ or whatever, which I love speedrunning, is, not that I'm a speedrunner, but I love watching speedrunning. I mean, Metroid is known for being speedrun. Like, the games are easy to learn, and I guess easy to master, or reasonably like masterable, but there's still such a level of perfection and skill ceiling that someone who's pretty good at the game, who's played it a lot, still could not even be close to the level of skill and polish that a speedrunner has, right? And so, I've done the 100% run in like 3 hours before.
On this game?
On this game.
Wow.
I've done that, but right. Yeah. You gotta get the guy.
I
But
just learned about this the other day.
yes. But still, like,
First boss, here we go.
that's nothing compared to the best speedrunners out there.
Yeah.
Who I think this game's been beaten in like 49 minutes or something. Like, crazy levels of sequence breaking, and I could be totally wrong, but either way, it's fast. So speedrunners are just gifted, right? And Metroid is known for that. So if you're ever wanting to watch speedruns, like, find some Super Metroid, kill the animals, save the animals kind of thing, and you'll get invested for sure. There's even one I remember watching one time that GDQ did where it was 4 people running at once.
Wow.
Against each other. It was a race. It was very cool. Very
I
cool.
think that was my first damage.
Oh, your first taking of damage? Boom. There it is.
Give it to me. I got the morph ball.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're all up into speedrunning. I bet I could say that now, couldn't I? I am not a speedrunner.
Yeah.
I don't like speedrunning. As someone who has tried it before, I'm gonna point
What
out
do you mean
another.
you don't like it? Like, you just don't want to do it yourself, or?
I don't want to do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like it's. I don't know. I like taking my time with the game, you know.
Yeah.
And I know I could speedrun this game if I really wanted to. I don't
Glitchless.
want to.
Any percent.
So
That's
another
what he's
little
talking about.
Scottism I'm going to point out here. You see this little dude over here that indicates the boss symbol?
To the right, yeah.
Yeah, the right, a little pink.
The right of the blinking.
So when you look at that, what do you see?
I see like a skull.
Okay, so when I was little, I thought that this was a little dude. Like, I thought, okay, those are 2 little legs, and he's got these little arms, like he's standing, like, ready to hurt someone. And then those were like 2 little horns coming out of his body or something.
Like Batman.
Well, I don't know about
or
that.
Optimus Prime.
But it all comes back to Batman.
It all comes back to Batman.
But I thought that was a little.
This
dude.
is actually a Batman game.
So there's another little Scottism.
Another Scottism. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. But speedrunning it's not my thing. I'm glad you like it, though. I'm glad you enjoy it.
I like watching it. Like, I don't know that I would ever. I mean, I would. I'd be interested in speedrunning, but if I ever did it, it would be glitchless. I wouldn't I mean, because I watched speedrunning, like, I just watched this, it's one I'd watched before. It's actually kind of a favorite of mine. I turned it on while I was doing some work the other day. It's this 5-hour, like 100% run of Majora's Mask. And the guy is like glitching through walls constantly and, you know,
like
using bombs to like backflip, glitch, jump his way like onto ledges he shouldn't be able to reach. And it's super cool and it's super impressive. Like the more you watch, and that's something that's so cool about, I guess I'm just talking about GDQ a lot. Like if you watch GDQ, generally they have like a couch behind the speedrunner, and those are people who also speedrun the game. And so the thing that got me, like I kind of felt the way you did forever, where I was like, this is stupid. Like, why are you phasing through walls? That's just not how, that's not impressive. But when you have but when you hear the other speedrunners actually explain what the runner is doing and how difficult it all is, then you start to realize like there's an art to this, there's a method to this, there's optimization, there's like efficiency, there's all this kind of stuff. And I was just like, wow, this is literally an art. And yeah, I think speedrunning is really cool. But it definitely took watching to get there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the story. I'm not gonna you know, slow down on anything. But pretty much what happened is at the beginning, Samus got sick. She got infected by this little dude called X. And they're the little floaty guys that come out whenever I kill bad dudes.
That give you life and bullets.
Yeah, they're not good. And if I remember the lore correctly, the Metroids were made to like eat the X.
Might have been the other way around. No, I think it was the Metroids were made to eat the X. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So it infected Samus.
Yeah, the Metroids were made to exterminate.
The scientists had to like surgically remove her armor, which kind of leaves her in this weird like state. And you can kind of tell based on her sprite that she's not doing so hot. Like if you look at like Zero Mission or Super Metroid or anything, the way that she kind of like
straight and she's at attention.
Yeah, but in this she's like holding her gun and she just seems weakened, you know.
Defensive and is hunched over and Samus is not at her best here.
Oh, I can't go in there yet.
Yeah.
So, all the pieces of her sick self.
Of the suit.
That.
The suit that with the infected X parts and stuff.
Dang, I can't do it all the time. Got shipped over to this station here, and something happened. There was a distress signal sent out, and turns out that the X broke out of the parts that from her armor. So when we were in the room with the little Mr. Freeze heads, all of those were where the armor was kept. Dang it. Oh, that was a bad move. Oh well. And I'm just gonna beat it. Bang, bang, bang. Nope. Ouch. Where was I?
The armor got shipped here.
Yeah, the armor got shipped here. Bad news bears. Now there's monsters all over the place.
Yeah, the X start infecting people and things, and
it eats them, and it like replicates them. They're like mimics or something.
Yeah.
Mimics them, not replicate. Replicate is a different word. This isn't Stargate.
It mimics them. Yeah, it turns into their form and all that stuff. And so, this whole station, as far as Samus knows, has been taken over by X, and she's gotta, figure out if there's anyone alive. And spoiler alert, because we'll get there. There's not, and so it becomes like, well, how do we fix the problem, right? How do we get rid of them? And it's kind of interesting. I actually remember.
Danger rhinos.
I have made it to. I playing this game over the years. I played it a lot over the years, and I made it to the part right before like the big plot twist at the end.
Yeah.
Probably half a dozen times. Honestly, I probably made it there half a dozen times, and it wasn't until one day, like I honestly think it was the week I beat Super Metroid, I decided, well, I'm gonna play Fusion, and so that was back. I downloaded like an emulator on my iPad,
That's
because
right.
because we had been which did you know emulators like GBA for iOS is on the App Store now.
That's weird.
It's official. They're actually on the App Store now.
So weird.
Crazy. But we grew up using that, and now we probably would never because there's a lot of.
I don't see
Is
the
it
reason
illegal
anymore.
or is it not? Or there's a lot of weird stuff surrounding emulators. But
So back when we started, looking at emulators, because I wanted to play Game Boy games again, and there was no like actual way I could do it at the time, aside from the Wii U, which I don't
didn't have
recall.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was before all the Virtual Console stuff was out, and I wanted
Because
to
a
play
lot
like,
of that I think was slow rolled out.
Yeah, and at the time I really wanted to play the old Fire Emblem games.
Yeah.
Death to
Because you had
Batman.
played, which eventually we got them on here.
Yeah.
On the Switch, on the Wii U. Eventually we got them on the Wii U.
Yeah. Woo.
Which that was actually a fun time playing those with you. I don't know
they're
that
good
I was
games. I like
necessarily
'em.
very good at them, but
Well,
you are.
I don't know if I would say I'm good at them. Shoot that light. Bang. But like being able to download ROMs back then, it was a lot easier than it is nowadays.
Yeah.
So sure, it's great that emulators are on the App Store and stuff, but like actually being able to get a hold of all of that, like the ROMs or the
ROMs and
ISOs, depending on
Which
what
there's
you're
still so
getting.
many websites, right? But I think the whole thing is emulation is not illegal. Having emulators are not illegal. I think it's the oh man, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, emulation is not illegal.
Boink.
It's the
Second boss, here we go.
it's the ROMs.
Wow.
It's the downloading the ROMs that is like the morally questionable thing. I think the assumption is you copy the data of the game you own into the emulator for whatever reason. But at
That's
that point,
too
why not
easy,
just
though.
play it? But it's weird. Either way, we just don't really do it anymore. I
Yeah.
don't know. I haven't used an emulator in probably since then. That was probably the last time I used an
Charge me.
emulator. Was playing Metroid Fusion on an iPad. And so you gotta understand, I had an iPad Pro, this is an iPad Mini, so my iPad Pro was much bigger than this. And I'm
Much.
sitting there, I'm basically playing the game with my hands like this. Like, tapping and doing all that stuff. But I beat it, and I made it to the ending,
Oh my.
and beat, like, the final boss on my second try. Before the escape sequence. And I was like, dude, this game is awesome. And since then, like I've played it on the Wii U and stuff, so it's fun.
All right. So, Nate, you have played more Metroid games than I have.
Probably
Although I think I know more about the lore than you do.
as well.
'Cause
Yeah.
I attempted to play the Prime games. They're just not my style.
Mm-hmm.
But you have played the Prime games.
I played the first one.
Oh, I thought you'd gotten all the way to 3.
No, I know those stories though.
Okay.
I've looked into those games a lot. Yeah, I just haven't sat down and played through them. But I've seen like partial
Mostly.
playthroughs and seen a lot of reviews and stuff like that. And I know some of the lore, but yeah, the thing about Metroid is I just love the gameplay. What I don't like about Prime 1 specifically, I don't remember if this carried over to 2 or 3, is like I like to get all the items and complete stuff, but in order to complete in that game, you have to scan everything. Literally every single thing. And I don't think scanning is bad. Like, that's a cool mechanic. I like that, but I would honestly rather it be after I make some things scannable, but don't make enemies scannable. Make it so after I kill the enemy, I just get like a logbook on that thing somewhere.
Sure.
Because literally having to stop and scan every boss while they're shooting at you in order to get your 100%, like, that's just not. I just don't find that very fun. But I like the collecting things, and I like the mechanics and all that, and even the mechanics of Prime. But
You beat Prime Hunters.
I did beat Prime Hunters. That's it. I
And
100,
you got the
I
actual
did
ending.
100% that one. Yeah, it's crazy. In the boss room, I had to Google this because I couldn't figure it out. So the default ending of that game, which if you don't know what Metroid Prime Hunters is, it takes place canonically, I believe, after Metroid Prime 1. And It's a DS game.
Yes.
And so it was Metroid Prime on the DS with your stylus, and you're going to shoot. So your screen is just gonna get stylused, right?
So when I played the game,
you can play it with
when I played the game,
alternate controls, but
I switched it to the right hand buttons,
Yeah.
the ABXY,
but
which was harder.
I didn't like
but
that.
I did it.
Yeah, so I used the stylus. But the ending of that game, you actually, you beat the boss, and Samus is trying to escape from the place, and the place blows up with her in it, and you're like, did she make it out?
Yeah.
But in the true ending, which requires you to like do some crazy shooting the wall in a certain order
Wow.
pattern or whatever. I don't know how you figure that out normally. You do stuff like that.
Nintendo power.
And Nintendo power, yes. And all of a sudden, like, there's a second phase, and Samus makes it out this time.
Wow.
Yeah. I like Metroid, though.
Um,
So this is kind of... This was very scary as a kid.
yeah.
The SAX being around, the SAX. We called it the SAX, but I guess it's the SAX for
Sax.
Samus. Samus Aran X. Basically,
Yeah.
there's an X because of having Samus's armor and stuff that is mimicking her
Yeah.
and is walking around the station right now. And that's bad because Samus was super duper strong before getting attacked by the X. And now she's not anymore. And so you're kind of worried about, am I going to get got or not, right?
Am I gonna get
Yeah.
Am I gonna get killed by this thing? And in theory, the idea that I think Nintendo had for the I'm gonna call them
The SAX?
yeah
Yeah.
that's fine. That's what we use.
The sax.
What's cool?
The saxophone.
The saxophone. I made that joke.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did. The idea they had for him was really cool. Unfortunately, it doesn't nowadays. It doesn't translate very well because of the technology they had at the time.
Yeah.
Which was the main reason why Dread was like pushed back by like 20 years.
But that's also why it's so interesting is what they wanted to do with the MIs, right? Is
Yeah, the
that,
Emmy.
that means is that they could literally be anywhere.
Yeah.
And the problem I had with that is that there's only certain zones that they're in, and I wish they had just been everywhere, right? It's cool to have places where you don't have to worry, but
Yeah.
I knew, like, literally when I walked in a place and one was there, I was like, okay, I don't care. I'm going to fight this thing and kill it and absorb its energy, right? Like, that was my attitude the entire time. I wasn't ever like,
I'm gonna try and get up. Dang it.
it's really that, once I learned, oh, you can kill them, I just wasn't scared anymore.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
You know, the dread factor wasn't so dreadful.
Really was not there, yeah.
There's a thing in here, I just don't remember how to get it, so I'll come back with the power bomb later. Oof.
Power bomb. Surprising you don't have that yet.
Power bombs?
Oh, I was just thinking of
I don't get
morph ball
power
bombs.
bombs until...
I was thinking about morph ball bombs. You have those already, right? You have morph ball bombs?
No, I'm about to get them.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of. Power bombs
so
are
you
a
won't
different
scream, you little
thing.
crab
Yes,
dude.
you are correct. I was not using my ears.
It's okay.
Here it is.
So, yeah, here's the bombs. So what we're pretty much told is, hey, this thing is stalking you around the station and kind of messing things up. And our computer friend, Adam, is all like, yo, you cannot fight this. If you see this thing, just run.
Just run. Yeah, smart move. Smart guy.
Fun thing is, when Samus got infected, she got uninfected because of Metroid DNA. And if you know about the baby from Super Metroid, it makes a lot of sense.
The baby who was
The baby.
not who was not very much a baby by the time.
No, by the time it died.
Yeah, I guess it was
There
a
it is.
baby, but it was a big baby. It was a really big baby. A
I
really
guess
big baby.
Oh, well, I'm going this way.
Save room.
don't
I
save.
don't think you saved yet, right?
No, I'm not gonna say.
You should eventually.
No,
But what if you die?
then I die. Game over. It's Dread, sir. It's the integrity of the game.
You don't need to right now, but there are certain moments you should eventually save, okay? Right, like, wall jump? Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I know I can.
I don't know if there's any reason to. Is there anything
I wanted to see what's up here. He's dead now. Yeah, I don't think there's anything up here, so... I just did it.
Bombs away.
I bet. Can I do a thing here and it'll pop up? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Why go up there at all, though?
I don't know. I'm sure there's a reason later.
Maybe they're just trying to teach you the mechanic.
Sure.
So, fun fact.
Okay.
We already said Fusion released in November of 2002,
Wow.
November 17th, 2002, in NA, right? So it was super early for us. But there was a very, specific reason behind that, right? So Fusion was released on the GBA, and in North America, at least, Metroid Prime came out on the GameCube literally the day after.
Wow.
The day after. And if you had a link cable, you could actually unlock the Fusion suit in Prime by connecting the two games.
Yeah, I bet. It didn't look very good. It didn't translate very well.
Well, it was, I'm not going to disagree with you, but also it was 2002, right? So, but you're right.
Please jump.
It looks okay, I guess. But yeah,
This guy
it was crazy. I'm thinking of it now, how long of a Metroid drought we had, and then how
kind of similar to what we just had.
back then it was okay. Here's Fusion, and then a day later, here's Metroid Prime, and they work together.
Yeah.
It's great.
Which they had similar things that they did with I think it was the the Zelda, the Link to the Past, and the Four Swords Adventures.
Game Boy game.
Game Boy game.
Yeah. Those were connected. Yeah, it was all in one cartridge, right?
Yeah. So that, I think it was that one. Unless I'm incorrect. No. So they had the link cables that you could connect all the Game Boy stuff to.
Yeah.
And that Zelda game, you could connect 3 other Game Boys to yours, and all 4 of you could play Four Swords.
Zelda together. You're there a little too early. It's not time. It's not the time.
I think I need to go down here.
Yeah.
It's been forever since I've actually played this game through.
Well, you're doing it again.
And I don't think I need to go here because this next room is a save room. Maybe. I need to go up. Yeah, that's what I thought. All of these save rooms. Who needs save rooms?
I don't think you don't need them.
No, I don't need them.
You sure you're not gonna die?
Well, if I die, then I deserve it.
I know you're not gonna die right now, but Nightmare.
No, Nightmare's easy.
If you're sure, man, then you got it.
Woo. Dang. All right. So what was I saying? I keep losing my train of thought.
The link cables.
The link cables.
You could connect your 4 Game Boys together and play Zelda.
So they had a Zelda game.
Four Swords.
Four Swords. They had 2 different ones. There was Four Sword Adventures, and there was
on the
Four Swords.
GameCube, and then Four Swords on the DS.
But you could use your Game Boy to play Four Swords Adventures, or something like that. So whenever you went into caves or whatever, it would shift to the Game Boy screen and you'd play on there. But whenever you walked out of caves and you were in the overworld, then you would go back to using your GameCube controller.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
That's literally.
I was obsessed with the Four Swords.
That's a crazy.
Second boss. What's this thing called?
Technically the
Zuzu
third, but second. Yeah, it's some weird thing. I don't know. I don't remember. It's not really worth mentioning.
Wiggles.
But it's a weird name. Yeah.
It's gonna get above me and I'm gonna shoot it. Right. Oh. Well.
Yeah.
Damage.
Fusion for the longest time was the only, back to our topic of speedrunning for a minute, was the only Metroid game that it was possible to complete with it was the only Metroid game for the longest time where it was possible to beat it with a completion percentage of 0. So usually in other Metroid games it'd be 1% or something. But in this, it was possible to beat the whole game and have 0% items, except for the essential items, obviously, the level, the upgrades and stuff. But no energy tanks, no missiles, all that kind of stuff. It was the only game for the longest time where you could do that, until its sequel came out, because now the same is possible with Metroid Dread. So Metroid Dread and Fusion are still the only two Metroid games you can do that with, which is very, very interesting. Yeah, I think at least. So I don't know that I would ever want to do that, but
yeah, like I said, I'm good.
if you want to do it, try like a 0% run, like that's something you don't see a lot in video games nowadays. And
man.
Brandon and I were kind of talking about it when we were doing our Risk of Rain video, is Risk of Rain 2. Is there's those artifacts in that game that are just, some of them, why would you ever use? Why would you ever play with just elite enemies? Like, there's no reason to do that,
I have
right?
done that with them.
Except that it's just fun. It's supposed to be fun. Like, if you want to do that, they just are giving you the option. They're just giving you the ability. And I feel like that's something that, we need more of in gaming, that we see a lot from old games, where it's just, hey, this is a mechanic because it would be fun.
Oh, and look, bad guy.
The bad guy.
So I could probably jump down there and shoot him and he'd go freaky. But I'm going to just
let him pass. Didn't save, so
yeah.
You're not going to do that.
I'll be fine. So I can't fight this guy because I'm at 10% battle capacity.
10%.
Which means I will die.
Yes.
According to Adam's calculations, and like Han Solo says, never tell me the odds. I'm sure I could figure it out. But
and
it's
really
bad news
jacked
bears.
Up those slugs.
I don't need to come back here until I get the wave beam. That's bad news bears because Samus had to get Metroid, stuff inside her to save her from the X.
Yes.
Which means that she is also like
weak
not
to
super
cold.
great with the cold now.
Yeah, and he's got the ice beam.
Correct.
Yeah.
So if he hits me, I freeze. That sucks. And it tanks like 2 tanks of health or something. It's a lot. It sucks.
Yes, it's a lot. So we're 40 minutes in, and I've yet to ask this question, and I feel kind of ashamed.
Okay.
But, Scott.
What?
Favorite Metroid game?
This game.
It is this game?
Yeah.
Without a doubt?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dread is cool. Dread's a very, it's a second for me. Like I said, I don't like the Prime games. I think...
Why don't you like them? Just the 3D? It's not not
it's
your
weird.
favorite?
I grew up with... Samus, we've got trouble. Releasing the security lock. No, gotta go fight Snake Man. Snake Lady, whatever.
Saris.
Yeah.
Speed Dragon. Leviathan.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. No, it is not clear. It's gonna be what's the owl from Ocarina of Time? Gabora or something?
Gabora, yeah.
Yeah, where he's like, did you get all that? If I say no, he goes to the whole thing all over again. Terminal montage. I love Terminal Montage's take on all of that. That's just so great.
That's where the baby joke that you're referencing came from.
Let's see. So, just going in and out. Dang, I lost my train of thought again.
You were saying...
how do people do this?
You were talking,
Let's Plays are weird.
You were talking about... Well, you're playing, so
well, sure, but I see Let's Players all the time that are just, like, talking and able to hold a thought.
Yeah, but they also...
tell stories.
But they also... They are just bad at the game.
That's fair.
Usually, because they're talking. And I'm okay with you prioritizing your gameplay.
Okay.
I don't want it to be... I don't want it to be that. But, yeah, you were talking about Metroid Prime. Like, why don't you like Metroid Prime?
I grew up with, these games. My first video game was Sonic Advance 2 on the Game Boy.
A 2D game.
A 2D game. Zelda. Minish Cap was my first Zelda game, which is also on here. It's
not 3D.
Yeah. Not 3D. I don't like 3D Zelda games. I
mean, like
Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom
those are so different from...
Yeah, it's like...
Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker and Majora's Mask.
Kinda.
And Twilight Princess and every other 3D Zelda game, right?
And those are different. For me, at least. But, like, Ocarina of Time, I hate Ocarina of Time so much. I hate a lot of, like,
I think
games.
honestly, if you were to go back and play them now, you'd maybe enjoy them.
I have the remaster on my 3DS.
Yeah.
So I could go back and probably give that, like, an actual shot if I wanted to.
College try.
I don't actually think the Water Temple is all that complicated either.
No, the problem with the water temple, I mean, yeah, it is complicated and or it's easy to get lost in, but the problem everyone had with the water temple
Can I do this again?
was that
Let's try.
you the wall jump.
Well, it's fine. I'll do this later. It'll just take more time if I do it
The
now.
problem everyone had with the water temple was that you could only have like Link had to have heavy boots
Yeah.
to sync, and you had to go into your inventory to turn them off and on, right? But that's a big statement saying I don't like Ocarina of Time. Like
I don't like Ocarina of Time. I don't like Mario 64.
I like that game a lot.
I think the only Nintendo 64 game I actually like, aside from like GoldenEye, which is ironic because GoldenEye it's fine.
GoldenEye was
the
fun.
only like 64 game I liked was probably Star Fox.
Yeah. Star Fox.
But you know that was different. It wasn't like a first person shooter or anything, or it wasn't like a third person. The 64 controller was weird because it was like just when they were trying to figure out the camera control thing.
Yeah.
And they weren't PlayStation or Xbox.
A lot of 64 games, and it's just a product of the time. I mean, even games nowadays just have horrible cameras, but But like Mario 64, like I love that game, but everyone knows the camera's just not. I mean, the more you play it, the more you get comfortable with it, but overall the camera's just not very good at all. And it's also interesting too how Nintendo's approach to the camera. You had buttons to actually move it, where like, which is more in line how like nowadays where we have a joystick moving the camera, but at the time, you know, Spyro on the PlayStation is you have a pretty decent camera and it's being controlled by your back buttons, your L and R. The same was true of I think Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast. Your back two buttons I thought were the camera.
Which I actually really loved Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, but more Sonic Adventure.
But yeah, it's fun. We have a lot of memories with those games. Definitely. I am curious to see like what I would actually think now going back and playing it and seeing how it feels. I've played Sonic Adventure 2 more recently than Sonic Adventure 1, which is probably still like a few years ago, but what I remember now from that game is I like the Sonic parts, I like the Sonic levels, but I don't know, I don't think the Knuckles stuff is as good as it was in the first
I think
game.
all the Knuckles and the Rouge quests are just ridiculous.
They're just not as... Because in the first game, when you were near, like, an emerald at all, it would show you.
Yeah.
It would pop up on the radar, but in the second one, it was in order. And so you could be right next to an emerald and it wouldn't show up. And so it was just designed, I think, less good in my opinion, but... those other...
Oh, look. That Ceres thing that we're supposed to find.
The boss is not there.
Is dead.
Yeah.
What happened? What could have killed it?
What? Your favorite Metroid boss? Do you have one?
I mean, Ravenbeak from Metroid Dread is just amazing.
Very cool. I agree.
Favorite? So for the longest time, Ceres was actually my favorite boss. The one we're about to fight. Jeez, these eye things are annoying. I can't wait till we get super missiles. That's up next.
After the speed booster, yeah.
Yes. Favorite boss? That is a tough question. There she is. How about you talk and I'll get through this boss?
Yeah. So I forgot to say, my favorite Metroid game, I have no idea. I like Super Metroid. And, you know, I probably have to say Super Metroid just because I could literally... That's a game I could sit down and play any day. Like, one of the criteria I have for what is my favorite video game, I mean, Scott and I both, we play a lot of video games. And we have games that, like this, that might be one of our favorites, that we honestly just won't, you know, may not visit for a few years because, you know, like Scott's said his favorite video game on Conversations on a Broken Couch, he said his favorite video game was Final Fantasy 14, but he doesn't play Final Fantasy 14 every day, right? He doesn't play Final Fantasy 14 super often. I mean, when a new expansion comes out, he gets it and he plays through it, right? And then plays for a little while after that, but he's not like actively playing that game every day. I mean, a lot of games you play a lot of roguelikes, like you play, Hades and Risk of Rain and those kind of games a lot.
Like if Square made a Final Fantasy roguelike, I would be all over it.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah. And then at the same time, you also play like, when you're playing with friends, you'll play like Divinity Original Sin 2 or, you play a lot of Stellaris with them, or lately you and the guys have been playing, Helldivers, right?
Yeah,
Helldivers 2, which is cool. But you play a lot of different games, even though you clearly have some favorites. And so part of what I've tried to identify as criteria for my favorite game is like, what is a game that I, no matter the circumstance, would pretty much be willing to play in any mood, like at any moment. Like even if I'm not, like absorbing a lot of content from that franchise at the moment, even if I haven't played it in months or thought about it in months, what's a game that I'd be willing to just sit down and play anytime? And so one of those games for me for a few years, actually for the last few years, I thought, well, my favorite game might be like Halo 1.
Wow.
Because it's a game I'm just willing to sit, like, you could say, hey, you want to play Halo Combat Evolved, and I'd just be like, yeah, let's do it. Like, that's a game I'm almost willing to play no matter the time, right? And, I do really love Counter-Strike, and that's probably my favorite game, but I would, maybe in some cases not always want to play Counter-Strike, right? Sure. Just because of its, it is highly competitive, and you're not always in the mood for that. But there's Mario 64, like, I could always play Mario 64. Literally always play Mario 64.
I would much rather play Sunshine or Galaxy.
And I like Galaxy a lot, right? But I like Mario 64. That's just, I love that game. But with Metroid, I feel like the one Metroid game that no matter the circumstance I'd be in the mood to play is probably Super Metroid. And I've just played it a lot and I really like it. Prime is also really good. I did like Dread. I do like this game. I'd love to play, because I haven't. I really hope they port it. I'd love to play Samus Returns, because I think that I really like that Metroid 2 concept. I remember at one point I played, it was actually right before my computer.
Did you play AM2R?
It might have been right when I got this computer. And I found a copy of another Metroid 2 remake online. And dude, that game was so fun. That was probably the best 2D Metroid experience I've ever had, was playing that game. And something glitched and I lost all my data or whatever and just gave up. But still, it was a good time. The whole history of that project is very interesting. But my favorite Metroid game is probably Super Metroid, just from pure hours and attitude and just willingness to play it. And then favorite boss, I don't know. Yeah, that's hard. Favorite Metroid boss. I know. I remember Kraid in Dread being really memorable.
Cool.
He was really memorable in that game. He's normally super easy in the other ones, but
it's hard. Because Dread makes Samus feel like the boss that she's supposed to be.
Dread made every fight seem like cinematic and dynamic and really cool.
Yeah.
And so I think of those. I think of the bosses in that game, and I'm like, dude, they're just all super cool. And then you think of, fighting Ridley in Metroid 1, and you're like, what am I doing?
I think that is my favorite boss, is Neo Ridley from this game.
He was my favorite for a while.
Specifically because I love his scream.
Yeah. He was my favorite for a while because of one story. One specific story. And it was that I hadn't played this game very much. But I do think because of the amount of... But I had played Metroid before, and I had played this game, but I'd still never beaten it at this time. But we both have played a lot of video games. And so we're at the point in our lives where, like... And we still were even back then, like... Where we could pick up new games really quick. And we were probably just naturally good at video games. We're young people who grew up playing video games their whole life and had played plenty of Metroid and Mega Man and 2D shooters, right? And so our sister, her thing specifically is like Metroid and Mega Man. Like those are the two
but like the Zero,
genres
the
she
ZX,
likes.
that kind of era. Not like classic.
Not classic Mega Man, not like Mega Man X, but Mega Man Zero like and Mega Man ZX and ZX Advent, and she also liked Battle Network and Star Force and those games, and then she likes Metroid a lot. And so she used to play Fusion a ton. She still does. She actually sells her Game Boy Advance, what's it called? Special Edition. Yeah. And she'll she'll play Metroid Fusion on that. But even though her and her husband have a Switch and she could totally play it on that, but yeah, she still plays it on her Game Boy. And I remember one year, this is years and years ago.
Real quick, I just want to point out, if you look at this recharge station, it's got the missiles, and I'm not sure if that's supposed to be power bombs, but it reminds me of the little Danger Cheerios you could pick up in old Metroid that would give you health. The Danger Cheerios were the little things
the, like,
that
purple
that Mother Brain. Yeah, the little like
the Danger Cheerios
thing.
that
the Danger Cheerios were the things that Mother Brain would shoot out.
Yeah, those were. That the Mother Brain fight is never will never be my favorite Metroid fight.
That's okay.
Because it's just not. I don't understand it. But yeah, she was playing Metroid Fusion and she was stuck on Meta Ridley, and just couldn't beat it, and gave it a few tries and just couldn't beat it. And
need to do that again.
She goes like, I don't know. I said something along the lines of like, well, let me try. And I literally like. I don't think it was first try. It might have been second try. Just like effortlessly beat Meta Ridley, and I had no idea how. Like, I barely even knew the controls. I didn't even know how to use missiles. Like, I'd played the game before, but I didn't remember how to use missiles. It was just like some impromptu thing, and I literally just used. I mean, you had the plasma beam. Like, I just used the charge beam the whole time, and I beat it. And you know, obviously, she wanted to beat it herself, so she like reset it. But after that, I was like. I got so full of myself. I was like, I must be good at video games at this point, right? And I just like
still are now.
Still are, no. But I after that I was like, Meta Ridley's the coolest. But you know, I don't know if I'd still say that. He's fun, but I think I don't know if he's really got enough of a like difficulty factor that I enjoy, but. Because that's the thing. I don't know that Metroid really has difficult bosses a lot. I guess because they're
not that.
Because my problem is this: you can simply break it down to patterns. Like the SAX you fight in this game, you can pretty much figure out how to cheese them really easily.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I love that. Like Kraid is very simple, and Ridley historically is. I mean, you watch out for the tail, and you know, just shoot up and up, and you try to dodge, and yeah, I don't know if I necessarily know who my favorite boss is. Maybe I'll figure it out during this playthrough.
Well, until then, we're about to get to another boss.
Another boss.
Another boss who I was never really good at.
It's Box, right?
It was Box.
I do like Box.
The security robot.
Box
I think may had a reappearance in Dread. Or like a Box-esque kind of...
I don't remember.
Box.
Box. The train does.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
So we're going to this data room to get super missiles, which I actually liked this. I liked this change over Super Metroid. Because in Super Metroid, you had to get super missile ammo, and now everything's shaking.
And now it's all in one.
And now it's one thing. They're bigger and they have a cooler sound effect.
Yeah.
Now there's just a big old hole in the ground.
There's a big old hole. I wonder where it leads.
Oh look, destroyed door.
So would you say then, for like probably forever, your
No saves.
favorite? Dude, you're stressing me out. You
I
gotta
know.
stop.
Nope.
Would you say just forever your favorite? Like, when is Metroid always gonna be preference 2D for you? Are you always gonna prefer 2D Metroid over 3D Metroid? Do you
Yes.
think?
100%. I will probably play Prime 4 when it comes out.
And
I will try
you'll
it.
probably have a good time, but
I don't think I'll beat it. So this always confused me when I was little because you're stuck in this place. This door you can't open anymore. You have to go all the way over here before the boss will trigger.
yeah,
But when I was little, I remember being stuck here for like an hour.
just trying to figure out what do I
Yeah.
do? What do I do?
So
Yeah.
we go here and we find Box and he's like, "Oh snap!
Hello, I'm
he's
going
dude."
to attack you because why not? Wow, that was a perfectly aimed missile.
Thank you. I practice.
Dude,
I'm a lot better at this now.
the experience. Experience outranks everything. Dude. Dude.
I'm a lot better at this
You're
now.
great at this game. Like, you're literally just demolishing it.
All right, he makes the debris. We can jump. Oops.
Yeah,
Oh,
I played.
There's like a secret up
I
here.
don't
but,
know.
you whatever.
I honestly think I enjoyed playing Metroid Dread, and I like old school 2D Metroid, but
yeah, that's not happening.
I don't necessarily love. I like it, but it's not my favorite. What
Sure.
they've done with the free aim.
The free aim
the
is
new
kind of weird.
free
It
aim
took
and
me a
parry
while.
Mechanics.
I am much more a fan of just pressing the trigger and being able to do that.
Yeah, and so if Metroid Prime 4 kind of sticks with the similar like style of the other ones, then but also still does innovate. If it ends up being the best Metroid Prime game,
Yeah.
then I'll probably end up like slightly preferring 3D Metroid in terms of new releases. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just like these games in general, so I'll always play them. You got a favorite power up?
Favorite power up?
And maybe I can ask this a different way. Like, the most impactful power up you think like is because I think for me my favorite power up one is the charge beam.
Okay.
Like, I like missiles, but I'm always a charge beam guy, just always have been, and so the second I get the charge beam, I'm like, let's go. Like, that's the most important power up for me. I mean, it's not the most impactful, but it is the most impactful in terms of how I play.
Sure.
And it's my favorite across any Metroid game is I want the charge beam. For our sister, it'd be missiles.
Yeah.
She just collects all the missiles and just uses them all, right? So,
My favorite power up. Oh boy, story time.
Plot.
This is when you find out that the corrupt government is talking to your computer. Does Samus suspect anything? No, I do not think so. Good, monitor her closely. Affirmative. That's fun. My favorite power up is the space jump.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because I liked the animation.
Yeah.
And Yakuza.
Yakuza, the spider boss.
Yeah, he's cool. I like him.
Guess.
The first time I actually killed him, I think I was on the toilet.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, and man, that was a great poop. That was like a victory poop.
Beating Yakuza on the toilet.
Yep.
The Yakuza.
All right, here we go.
All right. You get in your...
So this I
Power
hate.
stance.
This is when we start getting into the stuff where I actually kind of have to be a little
You have
careful.
to focus a little.
Yeah.
Please just... Scott. Please just save.
No.
Please save.
No.
Just at this room.
No.
Just please save.
No.
Because here's the deal. If you die, what do? We have to restart.
Probably.
We're not doing that. Just save. Just do it for me.
Okay, I'll save.
Yes. All right. So Metroid Fusion. It's also known,
the
right,
only
as
thing you're
Metroid
getting.
4. When you boot up the game, it does say, like, Metroid 4, like, Nintendo presents
Yeah.
Metroid 4. So Metroid Fusion, it's known as Metroid 4, right?
But these guys, these things are dope.
It does technically take place, like, last in the chronological timeline.
Correct.
At least it did. Before Dread came out, it was very last. So you kind of have, like, Metroid 1, Metroid 2, and then, like, Prime Hunters, Prime 2, Prime 3, Other M, and then I think Super Metroid, and then this game. And this was the very last in the timeline, even though it was only the 4th game.
Yeah.
And now it's Dread. Dread is basically this game's sequel. And I believe Dread is technically Metroid 11. This is Metroid 4. I think Dread's technically Metroid 11.
You'll have to go
as
through
far
the
as
games.
the
Because some of the
different games
spin-offs,
are
like
concerned.
Prime Hunters and Federation Force.
Do you count those?
I don't count
yeah,
those.
You don't count those?
No.
Okay.
So I can't touch these X because they're freezy, and freezy will hurt me. So I have to freeze them
By
with
shooting
my
them.
gun.
And then once
I'm
you
American.
you get the barrier suit and you become able to absorb those
Nope.
guys, and they're just the best source of food. They just give you
Except the difference is
all that goodness. They
once
start running
you
from
get the
you.
suit,
Yeah.
they'll start running from you, which means that you still have to shoot them so that you can even just get the life.
Yeah.
Don't blow this up because
There's a
there's
guy in
things
there.
in there.
Yeah, it's tricky.
I've made that mistake many times. Like that. And now they'll hurt me.
Yep.
And I'll fall.
So Fusion, it was released on the GBA in 2002, right? And it's since been released, if you're wanting to play this game, on the Wii U, 3DS, and Nintendo Switch. I think the Nintendo Switch is pretty much, if you are actually wanting to play this game, the Wii U and 3DS stores are both, they don't exist anymore. So you'd kind of be stuck with the Switch or tracking down like a fake cartridge of this game to play.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's a good Metroid game. If you like Metroid, or if you're wanting to introduce someone to the series, this is probably a good game to do that with.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I'm biased because it's how I was introduced. I didn't know
You
if that was
got
going to be the robot or not. There was a robot. There we go.
There you go.
So this is where things get kind of creepy. So we come into this room. Oh, look at that neat room.
Okay,
There it
gotta
is.
get down there.
We have to hide in here because
Yeah.
here comes the boy. Doo 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 doo. I don't think that's how the song goes. I'm pretty sure this is just the ripped Super Metroid sprite.
You know, they probably had to remake it, but for the most part, it looks pretty much like the
That's
Super
Power
Metroid
Bomb.
sprite. Yeah, you gotta get. That's scary.
So he's gonna start moving, and I have to
Big
wait for him to
scary.
leave. So there is a thing where if you run down there, he'll follow you, and there's a little chase scene that can happen. Or we can just wait for him to leave the area,
Which is a good move. I like that.
which he has just done.
I like waiting for him to leave. So here's something I was reading up on this game before we're doing this playthrough. I did some research just on the history a few days ago, and I don't think it's ever been officially stated, but like as far as we know from people like looking into the game files and working with this game Fusion was made on a modified version of Wario Land 4's engine.
Wow.
Just like heavily modified Wario Land 4 engine. Or at least an engine that's like incredibly similar.
Wow.
But I just was like, that's funny and interesting that this was just Wario
Dang
Land
it.
4 Metroid Edition, right?
Yeah.
So, very interesting.
All right. Well,
Here's
we're going
another
into
boss.
this. This I don't know what. Man, I love super missiles. I don't know what the.
Oh no.
Okay, so we found out this X just ate my power suit.
Yeah.
So now I gotta go chase this sucker
Now you
down.
gotta go eat him.
I don't know what the name of this boss is called. Although I'm just gonna call it.
I think it's like the Core X or whatever.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because it's just a big,
I have to use my
X.
beam for it.
Yes. The best. It's charge beam time. got him. You got him. Just keep doing it. Oof. Blow him up.
Yeah, this guy's just kind of annoying.
He is, this is the thing you'll notice with a lot of Metroid bosses. As they get lower health, they get, like,
Fun.
bad colors, pretty much.
Which I like that. I actually really like that.
Yeah, because they're just getting cooked and they're dying.
There we go.
Alright.
Oh, that's a meaty hit.
Get him!
Get him!
Get him! Yeah.
Got him!
Alright, one more. Because he's red. One more hit.
He might be in the 2s. Yeah.
Oh, it's 2 now. Okay. Things
So
have
every
changed.
boss that you go through, this phase of the monster will get stronger, and you'll have to do more hits for it. But
Yeah.
it's all the same like effect. You just kind of have to dodge them and shoot.
Eventually,
with
they
your
start shooting back.
missiles. Do
Later in the game,
they? Oh.
and you have to like.
Well, now we have our vomit colored
manage
suit.
that. Yes, normally this is the various suit. It is the various suit, but
It looks
in
gross.
other Metroid games, I think it's actually kind of cool. The yellow and purple. It looks weird here, but in the elevator, it looks cool when you see the close up.
Whatever.
But
I would have been defeat. Now
it's
they're gonna start running from me.
oh
not yet.
man, look at that.
So this is cinematic storytelling because they're all like, "Oh, well, I can get you,"
And then later they.
and now they're realizing, "Oh,
Yeah.
I can't get you anymore." So now they're gonna start running from
It's
me, just like the
great.
rest of the X.
And it didn't take Samus going, huh, I can absorb
The
them
baby.
now. Yeah, but the various suits normally, that's actually the suit that the SAX appears in. So if you're wondering what Samus looks like, normally at this point, it's what the SAX looks like.
Yep.
Yeah. It's the traditional, iconic look of Samus.
Do you have a favorite suit?
Probably have to be the various suit.
Really?
Just the classic, yeah.
Wow. My favorite's the gravity suit. I like purple.
Ah, yes. The purple Samus.
It's just cool looking. Yeah, see, he doesn't want to be around me anymore.
The I mean, Prime's got some cool ones too.
The what is it? The white suit in Prime.
There's also like a black one.
I think it's called the light suit.
I don't remember what
It's
the
cool
black
looking.
one is. I don't remember.
The black one. I know what you're.
I think that's the one you
Phazon
beat the
suit
game
or something.
with or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one, I'm trying to remember, but the one you fight like Ridley with, I don't
It's
I
just
don't
the Abby
remember.
maneuver.
But
Missiles only.
missiles only. Yeah. But the various suits, I mean, it's classic. It's just iconic. That's when you get to the point where, you know,
Yeah.
you may not be able to go into water, but you can go into hot rooms and cold rooms, and so
Yeah.
you feel, you know, you take less damage, you feel stronger, you look more normal. It's like, I'm good. Let's just play. So,
Yeah. It's cool.
how do you feel generally about backtracking in games?
Depends on the game, I guess. In Super Metroid, I think they do it tastefully. Sure, I have to backtrack to get all the way back to the nav room, but like later on in the game when you have to go through all the different sectors again, you kind of have to backtrack.
Are you
and you're
talking
like,
about in this game?
in this game,
Okay.
Plasma Beam. Yes,
Plasma Beam is the coolest.
it is. I think I also get power bombs here. Oh no, this was ice missiles. Wow, ice missiles already? I guess we have to climb onto.
Well,
the
you
little
don't get
rocket
them
turtles.
already, right? Isn't it about to stop you?
I'm not sure. I don't remember. But Arc is where we fight Nightmare later on. So later on in the game, when you have to start going through the different sectors and there, you get all your different abilities that help with backtracking.
Yeah. Eventually, you start going back.
It's
to-
tasteful. I like
Yeah.
it. So after this, we're going to have been in all the sectors. And
Already,
we kind of
yeah.
get an idea of what each of them are for and what they do.
You have
Sector 1 mimics the planet.
SR 388
Correct.
from Metroid 2.
The second one is a tropical sector. The third one
TRO,
is
yeah.
the third one is a fire sector.
PYR, Pyro.
The
yeah.
fourth one is water. The fifth one that we're in
AQA,
is
Aqua,
Arc. So it's winter.
ARC, Arctic.
And then
Or Arctic.
yes,
Not Arctic.
Arctic.
Arctic. Arctic.
There's a C in there.
There's a C?
There's two C's.
It's Arctic?
Arctic.
It's not Arctic?
No.
Arctic. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I learned something today.
Yeah.
And then the other one is... I don't
Knock,
remember.
which is for night.
Nocturnal. Yeah, it's dark.
Yeah.
Which you were just there.
Yes. Which is why everything was kind of weird. All right, no save room.
So you said you like tasteful backtracking?
I do.
Just
Yes.
So what do you mean by that? Like you want it to be like as an intentional design mechanic versus it being like padding?
To a point.
Or
yes.
when is it
Yes, I know I missed items
too
down
much
there. I'll
and
come
when
back
is
to
it
them later.
not, right?
All right.
Because I feel like in Metroid, I'm not revisiting an area to just run back through the game so that it takes longer. I'm revisiting the area because there's places I couldn't go before.
Right.
I'm revisiting the area because there's, things here I can collect now that I don't have. Well, now that I have the items for it, right?
Sure.
Whereas in other games, it's okay. You're just gonna have to backtrack through this place to get to where, we want you to go. Whereas I would have rather have like fast travel at that point, right? Yeah. So I really can't think of like a good example off the top of my head, but there are certain games where when they have you backtrack, it's simply you're just going back through the level or going back through the area, and nothing's changed.
Sure.
But in Metroid, you've changed, and you literally are now discovering like different locations and are getting items you couldn't get before, and it's actually like a core part of the gameplay, versus, oh, we need to just make this level longer, so you're gonna have to go back through here. And I don't know if that's like a very common practice in games anymore, but when it comes to padding, just artificial padding, like a lot of games do that nowadays. Like I love, I think a good example of the point I'm trying to make is like, I like Spider-Man PS4, Spider-Man 2018, like PlayStation's Spider-Man, and now they have Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2. Like those are good games, but a lot of open world games kind of in that genre have kind of gotten to this point where I feel like there's too much collectibles. And I realize they're there for people that want to collect them. And I enjoy doing it all. Like, I do enjoy, but that's just because, I don't know, maybe I just like monotonous gameplay. But I think it's kind of, we're getting to a place with open world games where the core gameplay is just so, because there's just so much padding to make the game longer, make the game worth the $60, the $70, the $80, the $40, right? And I just want a more focused experience. That's what I love about Nintendo games. As I've gotten older, like, I feel like everyone has that phase as a kid where all the stuff they used to love, they kind of go like, oh, well, this can't be cool anymore. Like, this isn't cool. Like, I feel like there was that phase where I was like, oh, I don't want to listen to Chris Tomlin music anymore. Chris Tomlin's not cool, but I think Chris Tomlin's awesome, and I love his music and his ministry and stuff. But a great example is like, I felt like I tried to grow out of Nintendo, like, oh, Nintendo games, Mario is boring, but now I'm like, dude, I want the focused experience. I want a game where every part of it is not only made for me to have fun, but is so intentionally designed.
Yeah.
Whereas you don't really get that in these huge, expansive games much anymore.
Ice missiles.
Right? Already?
Yeah.
You got them. Ice missiles. And so Metroid is just a good example of backtracking done right. And also the value in not artificially padding your game. Because you know what? When I want to play Metroid, I'm okay with going back and replaying the same game I have already played. And I get all the gold, right? I get all the good stuff out of it. That's the one, yeah. And there's a hidden one here somewhere. Here you go. It's in the wall.
There we go.
Whereas, some other games with loads and loads of other, like, blocks and padding and collectibles to make you not be able to naturally progress. Like, I might not revisit those games. It just depends. Like, I have revisited Spider-Man, but at the same time, I love Spider-Man. So, and I feel like the Batman Arkham games, which are very similar to Spider-Man, they don't, or at least the ones I've played, they don't, like, they have collectibles. It's basically the same genre, but
poopy.
Oh, you got speed here?
I guess.
Yeah, it's basically the same genre, but there's not like an overabundance of collectibles. It seems very, very doable. I don't know if they're necessarily as fun to get as some of the ones in Spider-Man might be, but either way, I like them. There's another thing here, another place here you can go through. I just don't remember where it is. Unless you need to speed through and stop your spark and jump back up, but
I gotta reevaluate.
I think you come around, right? Don't you have to come back around? Go all the way through?
I did that already.
Oh man.
There was a reason
I always
to
get
do
stuck
this.
here. This is the one place I get stuck in this game.
Yeah.
You could just, save your shine oh, there's a hole in the wall. Okay. Well,
There it is. Yep.
I would have done it the hard way.
In New Metroid, you can use the scan pulse. I will. All right. So, I will say I don't like the scan pulse. I think it's cool. I think it saves a lot of time. But like some of the stuff, here we go. There's Nightmare.
There he is.
It's just foreboding.
Yeah.
What I don't like about that is it kind of ruins the search. You have to go and find your way.
Yeah.
I liked that. There was something that was,
Yeah.
charming about it. I love these guys. These dudes are
I
awesome.
think they introduced it in Metroid 2, and I obviously haven't, like, they introduced it in Samus Returns, the remake of Metroid 2, and I obviously haven't, like, played Samus Returns, and so I don't know for sure, but the whole thing about Metroid, and you know this if you're a Metroid fan, right, is when you get stuck, you just start bombing everything.
Yeah.
And the scan pulse is good to in that case, because there shouldn't ever be a moment where you get so stuck in a game that you just have to stop and bomb everything. And so maybe that's your maybe that's a skill issue,
Yeah.
or and that's
Skill
just
issue.
you can't always like stop that from happening. But at the same time, like the whole scan pulse thing, I guess I can always choose not to use it.
Sure.
But at that point, if I have it, why not? Like it does just feel
Okay. I don't know what this is.
like I don't know if you could, with a game of this nature where there's so much hidden stuff, if you could make it so obvious and so intentionally designed that even a brand new player would not get stuck and would not require the scan pulse. But
I still don't have to like it though.
yeah, I guess at the end of the day you don't have to. I mean, we're just, back in my day, we actually, we searched for our items. We didn't have no cheater scan pulse finding.
Okay, so in the story, we got all these flashing lights. I'm sorry for anybody who, I don't know if this is like.
I don't think
weird
it's
for
too
people.
bad, right?
I don't
It's
know.
not. It's yeah. It's just
Basically, like what happens to most people in Alaska, the boiler's too hot. I think that's what it said. So
Kind
they're
of.
trying to figure out how to fix, or Adam, our computer, is like, you need to fix this, Sammy. And we're like,
Sammy. Yeah.
so we have to go fix the boiler.
Yeah. Basically, most Metroid games, actually, I think every Metroid game ends with like a countdown, and so what that is the base is gonna explode and you have to run. Pretty much is what you have to run out of the station and run back through the game and use all your skills to get out in the quickest time possible.
And now we
But
have the various
in this
suits that
case,
come in.
they do have one of those at the end, but it's also here at in the middle of the game, and you have to run your way to this certain location to fix whatever's going on and stop the station from exploding. So
Yep.
because you don't want it to explode yet.
I think there's a little cutscene if it does explode too.
But we're not gonna stick around to find out because you did not save.
Nope, intentionally.
Yeah. Like, I'm not worried about this stuff, but there's certain areas that you might get. Like, you'll want to save after fighting Yakuza because you don't get health in that
I
area.
will say yes.
And
I
you
will
can
say
get
there,
stuck
'cause
on
I
that
do
one
have
plant boss.
I do have problems there.
I do too. That's that one plant guy, because you go into that fight with so lack of health. Actually, part of the strat for that dude too is power bombs, so that
Really?
you're always consistently doing damage. So you drop power bombs and you shoot and you drop, because you really can't dodge everything,
Yeah.
and so it kind of becomes you need to out damage. So it's power bomb, shoot, power bomb, shoot, power bomb, shoot. Crazy fight, but we'll get to that in like, I don't know, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how fast you get there.
Well, after we do this, I think we have to go back up.
And it's elevator time, yeah.
Yeah.
On the way down, you get stuck in the elevator.
Yeah, and then I have to fight Yakuza, and then,
And
it's
then
the
you
plant.
fight the plant guy.
Shoot this scientist. What did
'Cause
he
why
ever
not?
do? No, he's actually a bad guy.
He's actually in X. Yeah, so this is where they start shooting you back.
Well, that's just because this is a beam guy.
Yeah, but you have another beam guy that's going to do that to you later.
Sure,
So-
but the first one shot back at me too.
Did
The first
the
beam
one
one.
with the charge beam?
Yeah.
That's true.
I just didn't give him
Oh.
a chance
My
to hit me.
the
He
ones
might
that
hit me
have
a few
beam
times.
shoot at you, yeah. This is what I was really trying to say.
Pre-somersault
but, yeah.
freeze. Alright, it's
Yeah.
over.
So you know this because you lived this, but Metroid Fusion, released 8 years after its Super Nintendo predecessor, Super Metroid, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's eight whole years where there wasn't a Metroid game. Super Metroid it released 8 years after Super Metroid, right? But 3 3D games, 2 3D spin-offs, and 2 2D remakes were released after Fusion. However, there was 19 years between Fusion and Dread. Fans waited 19 years for a mainline 2D continuation
Yes.
of Fusion.
Uh-huh.
You waited
I waited
all
for
that
Dread.
long for
I-
finally Metroid 5 or the sequel to Fusion, right? Like, it's crazy.
I was very happy
long,
when it came
how long
out.
it took for that, because yeah, we did get three Prime games and 2 like portable spin-offs, being Federation Force and Prime Hunters,
Both of which,
and we got 2 2D remakes with Zero Mission and Samus Returns, but
yeah.
we didn't get
I think I didn't know. I
the
can't
continuation to Fusion, right, for 19 whole years. And now I wonder,
remember. It was a
how long
wait.
is it gonna be till we get the next one?
I don't think it'll be that long. They have the tech for all this stuff.
I'm
now.
sure they do. I mean, I think they basically made a whole engine, so there's definitely, it's there. You got the engine, use it, right? Make me some more Metroid. It's great.
So, we did that. I don't totally remember where we were at right now.
I think
In the
you
game.
talk to Adam and he wants you to go save the animals, because he's a reasonable
That's right.
speedrunner.
Yep.
Who agrees with saving animals, and then on the way down you get stuck in the elevator.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. I will say, I do like Samus's ship in this game. I like the purple.
It's
Well,
yeah,
astonishing
it's
find.
purple. Very different than her old one.
Their survival instinct is in conflict with their newly borrowed intelligence. I don't think that's it. No, that's probably what's going on. I would love to see this game remade.
Yeah, the question is, would they use they'd obviously give it the Samus Returns and Dread mechanics, right?
Yeah,
But,
they would use the same engine.
but I would
think.
I would enjoy it. It'd be cool.
I think originally, before Samus Returns was made, I don't remember the name of the company. Sorry, company.
I can't remember either. No.
Originally, they wanted to do a Fusion remake, but they were like, hold up, let's do a Samus 2 remake.
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah, I think
And then we got, Metroid.
I don't know if this game necessarily needs to be remade. I think it holds up very well. Like, I obviously would love a graphical touch up, but
Can I do the thing?
mechanically, like, I mean, what are you gonna be
There we go.
adding? Aeon abilities and Is that what they're called?
Aeon.
Aeon abilities and
I never really understood that.
probably fast travel. But you don't need fast travel. This game is so well contained, right? I don't know. I obviously wouldn't. I'd play it. I would play it for sure, and I'd probably love it and make a video about it. But it's not. I don't know if it's a necessity. As long as the game is easy to play, which it's not, because it's part of the. I mean, it's that part of that whole. It's part of this whole Nintendo Online thing. Like, you can't just pick it up and buy it, which I wish that I wish you could. I wish anyone could just buy the game and not have to have some online subscription or whatever. I don't like that, but
Save room. Nope.
that's just how it is. So get him, get him. Oh,
Well,
it's oh
dang.
yeah. You just wait it out. Just wait it out. There you go.
Ba-boom.
It is done. All right. Yeah. Overall, did you like Dread?
I did.
You did.
I thought it was a good game. I liked how it kind of had... It felt more like Super Metroid in a way. Oh, I do have to dash that. Okay.
What do you mean? Felt more like Super Metroid.
Because it wasn't holding your hand the entire time. It actually kind of let you figure things out, which was cool. Frankly, I like it when Adam's like, go here, do this.
Yeah.
I think that's fun.
You're
Also, it's
fine.
just-
You're
it's
fine
just
with
easy.
the more linear stuff.
Yeah.
But you know, obviously, Super Metroid had none of that, and Dread still had some of that. And I find that interesting, you know. But there's
Hey, look. The Edakuns and Decoras.
Decoras from Super Metroid. It's
Yeah.
the same ones. That's why you free the
And there's a
animals.
baby now.
Freeing
the
the
baby.
animals is actually canon. It's canon. It's real.
It's canon.
But yeah, Dread has got. I mean, it's a good game. I like it. I do like it. But yeah, there's definitely, and maybe this is just me with Modern Metroid. Like, I don't mind the new aiming mechanics. I don't mind the parrying. That's okay. But all that, I feel like there was too much abilities. Like, the Aeon abilities are cool. I use them all. But I'm okay with just the core gameplay that we've had with Metroid for all these years. You know, jump, shoot, dodge, right?
Jump, shoot,
And
and dodge.
that one Aeon Dash is so cool because you're like dodging everything and moving around super fast. But I don't know that I needed that. Like, I like the dash, not the dash, the slide. Like, that's a cool, that's a really great innovation. The game certainly looks good, plays good, sounds good. I was a little disappointed with the
Power
Emmys.
bombs. Yeah, I was disappointed with them too. I think
But
they could have done
you know,
a better
it was
job.
still different. It was still something different.
I feel like we already talked about this, but
We
if
didn't-
they
we didn't
really
go
wanted to
super deep into it,
encapsulate the dread aspect. Also, I have the various suits so I can walk in here and not get hurt, but I just want to look at this. Hey, look.
It's Ridley.
It's Ridley.
The clone of Ridley from Other M.
Correct. For those who played that game, which it wasn't a bad game. It was okay. It was weird, but it was okay.
Yeah, I haven't played it. I wouldn't know. I know it's. I could say what the internet thinks, but I don't have my own opinion, so I'm not gonna say that.
And give it 20 years, people will change their opinion.
Possibly.
Just how the internet works.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm bumping things. My leg fell asleep.
Wake it up.
I'm good.
Uh-oh.
We don't get trapped yet. No, we have to go back to Arc so we can get power bombs.
Oh. Man, my brain has been turned off.
Same.
It's okay. Get them power bombs. And then you get stuck in the elevator.
Yep.
Yeah.
My favorite. I love getting stuck in elevators.
You just...
So power bombs are cool.
They are. They're very
Excuse
cool.
me.
Yeah. Dread was cool. Demis were a little disappointing. What were you saying? Like, were you gonna say you just wish they'd kind of been on the whole time, or what? Because I do.
I wish they were
had
on
just been
all
able
the
to follow
time.
me anywhere. Yeah.
because it would have added to the dread aspect.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea that you had like these safe rooms. Like if you look at kind of like the Metroidvania style, or mainly like what they tried to do with Fusion, is they, in my opinion, or what I seem to have observed, and we're gonna go back into this room, and Nightmare's gonna have like trashed the place. Not yet.
No, it's not yet. That's before you fight him. That's before you fight him.
Yes. He has a really big tank.
The thing to remember, like, Fusion had scripted moments with the SAX, and that's okay, because you remember, like, one, it's the first time they're ever trying that, and it is really memorable, like, your first playthrough through, because you don't know if this is scripted or not, right? And then, sorry, and then the second time, well, the second thing is that not only is it scripted, right, but it's
I'm not gonna blow one up there.
at the same time you're it's a portable game.
Yeah.
And that's something you gotta remember. Like, it's not meant to be super grand scale
I know.
Metroid. And so it's okay
Here
what they
comes.
did with Fusion.
It's time.
And Dread is also portable. Like, you can't forget that. Dread was also, it's a Switch game. So portable's going to be part of it. But also, it's a console Metroid. What are you doing? Is this what's supposed to happen?
Yeah.
My
He's
goodness, dude. I was just nervous because he could kill you, and you didn't save.
He's not scary anymore because
I'm nervous about the not saving, Scott. That's why I was freaking out.
if things get really rough, I'll make a save state or something.
Good.
I don't want to.
And
it ruins the integrity of the game.
You'll Halo checkpoint your way through it.
Sure.
Where you got a checkpoint and it's like the worst situation, but you're like, if I throw my head at this 95,000 times, eventually I'll find a way to beat this, right? Yeah.
I'm real tired of these guys. I could just be careful, but it's too easy. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, to finish my thought, what I felt like they were trying to accomplish with Dread, or with Fusion and Dread, is... Oh, I gotta blow that sucker up. It seemed like they were trying to pull a Resident Evil.
Nemesis.
Oh, no, this is Power
What you
Bomb.
mean?
Well, yeah, that's the thing, is they were trying to have, like, the stalker, who always followed you,
always follow
and
you.
always tracked you down, and it just seemed hopeless.
Yeah. But, yeah, with it being confined to... The problem is, imagine this. Okay, Nemesis is chasing you the whole game, but even from the first time you encounter him, there's a way to kill him.
Yeah.
Like if you were given a gun that would kill Nemesis right away, like, you're not gonna fear him anymore, right?
No.
And that's the problem with... Not the problem with the SAX. Like, remember, like, given the benefit of the doubt, it's their first time doing this. It's a portable game. It's all these years ago.
Dang.
But with the EMIs, it's like
it's fine.
the second I learned, and I already said this, the second I learned, I can kill these guys, I didn't care anymore. I wasn't scared. And so if you make it a way so I can't defeat them yet, but can still travel through the zone they're in, like, if you don't want to have them chase you the whole time and want to keep there being specific zones where you know they can be, don't give me a way to defeat them.
Mm-hmm.
But because I can, I'm like, why? What am I even waiting for? Like, come, let's fight. Like,
I think...
let's go.
So I guess in terms of Resident Evil, I love Resident Evil. I think it's great. I love the story. I love the gameplay. All of that. It's awesome. I think if they really wanted to pull off that kind of fear mechanic, and I don't know if they're going to do that in the next game. Who knows?
Yeah, we don't know what a Metroid 5 will be like. How do you get in there?
There's a hole in the wall somewhere.
Oh, yes.
There it is.
There you go.
If they really want to pull that out, I think they should try and lean to the Resident Evil thing a little more heavily. But I also think that if they're going to do that, they should probably do it in like third person or something.
That's
you know?
probably the main
follow
criticism of Dread, though, was the EMI. So if they ever do something like that again, they probably will change it, realistically.
I'm sure.
So.
That being said, I think a Resident Evil styled Metroid game would be dope.
It'd be interesting.
Because, I mean, at least in Resident Evil 1 through 4, you're kind of, well, I guess, well, I don't know, I haven't played 5 or 6, I don't know anything about the gameplay with those. With Resident Evils 1 through 4, that kind of, you know, get this item to unlock this door, or get this new gun to do this, and all this stuff.
It's Metroid-y, right?
Yeah, it's kind of already built into it.
But the problem is Metroid...
Where am I going?
Metroid
the ship.
Can't play that slow. One, it's got to still be fast-paced Metroid.
They can speed it up, though.
And two, like, do you want to make it third person, or do you just want to make it a Prime, make it a thing in Prime, or...
I would love
so, like,
it to be in third
imagine
person.
You're playing Prime, and it's Dark Samus.
Sure.
Like, Dark Samus is chasing you down, or whatever, like, something like that, or one of the... whichever one of those guys from Prime Hunters, they like teased out one of those one of those games. Cylix, something like that. Like,
oh look, Metroid.
Oh no,
Ridley.
He's alive, and he's got X'd. There you go. All right. Yeah. Overall, I really liked Dread. It was enjoyable. It was exciting to play a Metroid game again after all, like see new Metroid was just really cool.
Just like someone out of
and,
blood.
And seeing what they did with Samus and stuff was cool. So it was a good game. But also, you know, definitely could have
hey, look,
like
hatch from the beginning.
Been a little. I don't know if it needed to be more polished, but I just think some of the design obviously could have been different. So, yeah, but it's a good game. Talking about this game, right, and how it was received, we kind of brought that up earlier. Metroid Fusion was genuinely very well received with a 92 on Metacritic, perfect scores from both Game Informer and Nintendo Power, as well as a 9.5 from IGN. Fusion's main detraction is its more linear gameplay compared to previous titles. That was like its main criticism. But I think in reality, and we almost touched on this, like the more linear story and level designs make sense because it's a portable game, right? It's made to be played during car rides to grandma's house and lunch breaks. Like it's that's what it was designed for. It was designed for the Game Boy. It was designed for pick up and play. It was designed for, I've got 30 minutes, I've got an hour, I've got a little bit to play, so I'm going to play. Whereas Super Metroid was not. And so it's okay to have Super Metroid be less linear and have it take more seeking and finding and searching and backtracking, and it's okay for this to not have that. But yeah, that was... it's kind of interesting how that was the main criticism, but at the same time, like, well, that's, you know, intentional design at the same time. So, good game still overall. And to kind of like piggyback off that, in Super Metroid, you know, we already they explained it in the story, but in Super Metroid, your super missiles were not a missile strength upgrade. They were a separate collectible. And instead of ice missiles, you had the ice beam. In this game, your normal missiles became super missiles. And instead of the ice beam, you have the ice missiles. Now, the way they explained it in lore is because the charge beam is not like something she has, but it's a part of her and her suit. It's not going to work with her physiology rejecting ice and stuff, right? Sure. It's just not a good move. But the ice missiles, you know, that's just a tool, like, you're good. But, you realize, like, mechanically wise, development wise, the change with having it be a missile strength upgrade and the ice beam not being a beam, I don't know necessarily why they did that, why they decided to make the ice missiles, besides maybe changing it up, and the whole diffusion missile mechanic, I guess they thought would be
Which
fun.
I do like the diffusion missile, or like the missile storm.
Yeah, cool. Which they did in Dread, but overall, like, it comes down to it being a handheld. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. We're playing this on a TV, but it wasn't designed to be played on a TV. It was designed to be played in the palm of your hand. The power of the sun and the but it was a handheld game, and so you're thinking about it. You got smaller screen, and so you need smaller, simpler HUD, simpler items, like your items and your controls are limited because Super Metroid you have 4 buttons. This game you only have 2, and so there's even that balance between the buttons and your HUD and all that. And you know, they ended up using their limitation to innovate. To quote Matthew Colville, limitation breeds creativity, and that's super true in this case. How they didn't let the limitations of the Game Boy stop them from making a good game. Ooh. They were still able to make a really good game. And actually, like, some of the choices they've made have still stuck with modern Metroid. You know, having some charge up missile thing and all that. So I like it. I don't mind there not being the extra items. Overall, like, I really like Super Metroid and I really like this game, but so this boss's name is Yakuza. Kind of crazy. But back to the items. Just that's an interesting way to look at this game consistently, is realize most every design choice, well, it's because it's a portable game, and if you view it as that, then, like, in context, then you can rate it and critique it and view it from a lot easier of a perspective, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to really
You just dismantled that boss.
I know.
You got him real good. Yeah.
He doesn't help me from getting hit.
He's dead.
Save me from that.
And now you have your favorite
My favorite ability, the space
real.
jump. Sweet.
Yeah.
I feel invincible now.
Well, it doesn't make you any stronger, but you're a spinning man.
I know. Alright, turn sort of some of the power on. So if I wanted to save, I could.
Which you will.
Which I won't.
Because it's the plasma boss next. We talked about this.
Yeah, I know. I have to get through the SAX area first.
Oh, that's please save for that. Please, Scott. Scott. This whole video is going to be me going, Scott, stop stressing me out. Like,
I think I can do it. I think I can do it.
Okay, see, now you have to save. I can't do I thinks. I need I knows.
Alright.
If you're not going to save,
I know I can do it.
I can do it, then you got to save. Like,
I think the nice thing about this is
it's really
I've got full health, I've got all my ice missiles, all my ice missiles, so I can do this.
Yeah, you actually just wrecked that fight where normally, like, people are going to have half of their health and be missing half their missiles and all that because there's no recharge around here.
No.
And so you're kind of stuck with, you know, going and searching and stuff. There you go.
Alright.
You hear the boots? Oh, was he blind? Like,
are we blind? Deploy the garrison.
Okay. Harbomb. Freezing. Alright.
That didn't hit.
Up. There you go. Oh, that was so hard as a kid.
It's not done yet. No, it's done. Never mind.
Yeah, you're thinking of a later one. And here's a boss.
Eventually.
It's too real.
Oh.
Yeah.
So this is where... so we're back in Tropical.
Yeah.
Sector 2. So this is also a place you could hide from him.
Oh, you could have gone down here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That seems like
I
really
failed.
better idea.
I failed to hide in there, and I think you can power bomb that entire pillar that you hide behind up.
That's
and
interesting.
I don't actually have to kill these guys. I just haven't gone up here enough times.
Yeah, I think there's another area behind that pillar in case you didn't go
No,
fast
you
enough
have
or
to come
whatever.
down here. You have to run.
Oh.
So you can hide there, and he will run away. So now we're kind of going through areas that I've sort of been, but I also just didn't see any reason to go through.
Because you didn't have the jumpy jump.
Yeah.
Which you probably could have wall jumped up here, but...
I'm gonna try something. That's what I thought.
There it is.
Power bombs.
More bombs.
Power bombs.
More
Boing
bombs. Alright, you ready for this? Ready to hear something incredible?
Okay.
It's I don't know if it's incredible, but you know, recently, was it last year? I think it was last year. I don't think it was this year. They made the Mario movie. The new Illumination made a Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Yeah.
And it did really well. I'm not gonna say it was a great movie.
It was a great movie.
I don't think it was a bad movie, but you know, I do think it's so interesting how fans gave it like a 100 and critics gave it a 50. Like that's just, there's some amount of disconnect there for sure. Definitely in the realm of who the movie was for and what they were trying to do, but
Woo!
yeah, you're stuck. Oh, or not. I normally would get stuck in those. It was horrible.
You just gotta hold the button down.
Get him. Get him.
So you can use power bombs here?
Yeah, I always did.
Oh, that's neat.
Because they hurt him. This boss actually doesn't look as, I think I might have done it in the second phase, when it starts shooting at you, is when I was using it.
Yeah, that's getting close. There we go.
Because then it becomes, like, yeah, you get to this point where you're always taking damage, and it kind of
Jeez.
becomes super difficult, but maybe I was just, last time I played this was just bad. So, because you're just making this look easy.
I'm brute force.
Get him.
Woo!
Your missiles probably do more damage.
Dude, yeah, I couldn't remember.
Yeah, you don't have your missiles do more damage until you get this upgrade.
Speedrunners are like, man, look at this chump.
Yeah, okay, so now you just gotta defeat him here.
Yeah, so now we're getting the, I believe this is the wave beam.
It's the plasma beam, which is the strongest your beam's gonna get. So, this is what makes,
Oh, I might die here.
you just gotta dodge. Dodge!
Huh.
Oh, this is tense. Oh, he got it.
Good.
There you go. All right. Yeah. So now that's stronger than your missiles. But
Sweet.
obviously, there's the give and take between constant barrage or am I charging or what. So,
Okay, so this is, so I don't have the attachment that makes it go through walls
no,
yet.
that's the wave beam. You don't have the wave yet.
This thing is like an insect repellent though.
Yeah. The wave beam is awesome though, to just be able to shoot through walls. That's so cool. But they made the Mario movie. Okay, it did pretty well. I'm not gonna talk about what I thought about it or not. But a few years ago, way before the Mario movie, I might be remembering incorrectly, but I don't think I am. I think I remember reading an article by the director. It was an interview with the director of Kong Skull Island, and he was saying that one of his dreams is to make a Metroid movie, a live-action Metroid movie, which is basically Samus on her own, completely isolated, doing her thing, where there'd basically be no talking. Because why does Samus need to talk?
It would be a silent movie.
And so there'd kind of be this like art of isolation and like tension and release, and you know, it'd definitely be like a different kind of movie. But
Sure.
without getting into Like, if you're saying the guy who did Kong Skull Island wants to make a Metroid movie, I'm saying, yeah, he'd probably end up making that movie did well. He'd probably end up making a pretty good, you know, live action movie given the proper resources and stuff. But overall, would you be interested in a Metroid movie?
Yeah.
First off, okay, then what would you want to see? Would you want to see 4 Federation Force guys and it's just a thing in the Metroid universe, or are you wanting a Samus movie, or what?
I think if I want a Metroid movie, I want a Samus movie. I think having like Federation stuff, I don't know. I think the Federation is cool.
You can do that
But
with
having
setup,
like the Federation Force. Oh, I've isolated the cause. Just been exploded. Oh, we're back to Arc. All right, time to go fight Nightmare. I think it would be kind of lame if it was like Federation stuff.
Yeah,
like if I want
it's hard because
Metroid, just do like Super Metroid.
Because you or even Metroid 2 or Metroid 1, like, you can use Federation as setup.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, keeping I just lost my train of thought. Like,
you don't have to use big words.
It's okay to have a Samus movie not have her constantly giving exposition and talking to herself and that kind of thing. Like, I honestly think that could be a pretty interesting movie. You know, I can guarantee it would like sell well, or that people would really go and see it. But I'd be really interested in that. I think that'd be cool. So we're going to fight Nightmare.
We're going to fight Nightmare. This is not Samus's first time fighting Nightmare.
He
technically
was in Other M.
Correct.
It's the same guy, I think.
He was just a lot less intimidating in Other M.
I'm sure. In this game, he's melty face.
Well, he was always melty face.
This was first, though.
Yes. So,
release-wise,
everything is kind of trashed now.
Yeah. So that thing flying around in the background, it's not flying around anymore, and
everything's all blown up.
Everything's
destroyed.
all broken.
Oh, I could have just walked straight. Well, I don't think we get red doors yet. Oh, I don't need to. This one's open.
It's broken. Yeah. I think you get them after this.
Okay, so this is important to note, is that we learned, hey, the X can like they can download data, which is kind of crazy. And so there's this whole chunk on the floor now.
Yeah.
But just real quick, this Kong guy, who did Skull Island, I'm pretty sure he's in charge of the Netflix Gundam movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Because he's a huge like Zeta Gundam fan.
That's cool.
No, there's something here. I'm sure of it.
It says you should be able to go through there. But...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was like a tank or something up there. But
yeah.
Oh well.
Did he, out of the like Godzilla Kong stuff, is that the only one he did, or did he do any of the others?
I'm pretty sure that was the only one.
Okay.
He's a fun actor.
You're a lot more into that stuff than I am, so you know more about Godzilla Kong than I do.
They are fun movies. I will say that. I like them. No.
Get out. Yeah, so this is the one thing the barrier suit can't do, which is make water movement like easy. But post Nightmare, that's not a huge deal.
Yeah, because we're gonna get the grab suit.
Yeah. Oh, gotta stretch. Oh, get my stretch going.
So Nightmare is a fun boss. I like him. This is a save room.
There's definitely
But I don't save.
You'll be okay. You'll probably beat this guy.
Hopefully. It's been a while.
There's a yeah, I feel like I honestly haven't played and fought him enough to know what the most optimal way to beat him is. But he's got this weird thing on his groin that like is a gravity generator or whatever.
Laser.
And you could blow up the gravity thing, or you could just blow him up.
Yeah.
And that's usually what I do. All right. There's a second tank here.
Yeah. Is there?
Is it? It might not be second tank, but I think
there's a secret way.
I guess not. It's the secret way to get it. Yeah, I don't know that there's a... the way I always got it, I actually got really good at coming down here and jumping.
Really?
In like the one frame.
Wow.
And jumping over, but...
Alright, here we go.
There's not a second thing. It was the secret way. I forgot there was something, but you got it now. Here he is.
The Nightmare. So I actually have to use my beam for this.
Yeah, because the missiles are affected by gravity. And look, see, this gun is doing so much damage that his face is already starting to ooze. That's pretty much this guy's, like, dying he just has gross stuff coming out of his face, so.
I should actually have to hit him.
Yeah. I always jumped up on the ladder to your left and just shot him in the face the whole time, but this is much more practical and doable. Alright, line him up. Oh, he's...
I have to get low enough to actually hit him. And this is how I beat him.
You're making this game look so easy, man.
I'm pretty sure there's a hard difficulty.
Oh, there might be. But that's probably just more health. Still, you're playing on normal or whatever. I don't know.
Okay.
Either way,
we go.
It's great.
That was a nightmare.
That was, such a pain back in the day, and now you just did it that quick.
I remember the first time I beat this boss, because Nightmare was the reason I was stuck playing this game for 6 years without beating it. I could never beat Nightmare. My dad couldn't beat Nightmare. He always got close, but we could never really figure out what's the way we beat him.
Yeah.
I think eventually Dad was just like, all right, you got to figure it out on your own because I can't beat the game for you.
That's a good move.
Good
dad move.
I think I was 10 years old.
Now you're purple.
10 or 11 when I beat Nightmare for the first time. Yeah, we have the gravity suit. I love the gravity suits. My favorite
and
of the
now
suits.
It even works underwater.
Yep. Oh, I have to do
Flex tape.
The
yeah, so now you have the now you can speed boost underwater, somersault underwater, all that kind of thing. Defy gravity because you beat the gravity boss.
Yep.
It's real.
So that's that. But yeah, the first time I beat Nightmare, it was I think it was 6 a.m. in the morning on a Sunday. I don't even think Mom and Dad were up yet. And I beat it.
Dad probably was, but
no, he wasn't. I woke him up.
Sunday, but
well, it might have been earlier than what I thought. Anyway, yeah, I'm kind of just recklessly running through all this.
You've got the gravity suit. You're strong now. Yeah.
Is there a thing here?
With health.
No. Wow, shocker.
I don't know what that's there for.
But yeah, Nightmare was kind of like conquering my first demon.
Yeah, he was for a lot of people it's so you can drop a bomb down there maybe. Oh, maybe this isn't the way to go.
I gotta find a new way up. Alright.
I don't remember. But yeah, he's definitely tricky and a lot of people will get stuck on him. But it's doable. If anything, Scott has proved that is that. Oh, I know where you are. Yeah, so you just zone swap. So there's little connectors that connect all the zones, and this is one of them. This is also a really easy place to get lost in, but
yes, I think
he'll probably get us through here pretty quick.
You
can also get an item here.
It's Danger Cheerios.
There's you can get an item here, but you do get an item here that Adam didn't tell you about, and there's this whole thing where he's like, Samus, I didn't tell you could get that. Why'd you go get that? But I think it's also possible to unlock red locks before then too.
Maybe, but I'm just gonna do this the way that the game intended.
And when you do that, you also have extra. The dialogue changes as well.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And he's like, and you unlocked red doors. Adam's all frustrated, but.
So, to those of you who have never played this before, Adam is really adamant on protecting this, or trying to, get rid of all the X on this station.
Yeah.
When in the past, whenever there's been an issue like this, Samus has just left and the place blew up anyway, so...
Yeah.
Not that I'm saying, he's gonna draw 2 and 2 together and go, wow, we should have just blown the place up. It was gonna happen anyway.
There's a reason why, and that's kind of the big surprise at the end of the game.
It's not really the end.
Towards the end, it's right before. It's the thing right before the end. So,
yeah.
But yeah, it's this game is, you're able to watch watch the text and read the story if you want, but I think it's pretty good for the kind of game it is, right? Like, they've never done this with Metroid before, and I like it. I do like the plot and stuff. So
you know what you're saying about red doors?
Yes.
I'm gonna go do that now.
Is there something? I thought something open to your right, didn't I?
Yeah, there's that. Although I think red doors was right there. I think it's just inevitable. It's gonna happen. Oh, hey. That's cool. I'll remember that. I have to kill them. Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember it exactly, but it's possible to get things that and get like special dialogue because he didn't want you to get it or whatever. But yeah,
that's cool.
I that might be the red doors. I don't think that's the item. I think it's the red doors. But
well, I think if red doors will happen, we'll get there.
If it happens, it happens.
Oh, hey, look at that!
That's nice.
I will take it.
E-tank.
Is there a boss here? I don't remember.
No.
Oh.
Your next boss is your next boss might be Ridley.
I don't think it's Ridley. Is it Ridley?
I think it's Ridley, and then it's the SAX, and then it's close, right? Do you have another boss that you haven't fought?
Box.
Box. You fight Box again. That's right. You fight Box, and then the close, and then Box, and then the climax, and then Ridley, and then the final boss, and then the run. Then you run. Did something open right there? To your right? Is there a morph ball jump thing down there?
I don't think so. I think there's something here I'm missing. I just don't remember what it is.
If only you had that scan pulse.
Nah, don't need it. If we go too long, we'll just like...
We're good.
There we go. Yep.
Here you go.
Time to get red doors.
Dropping down.
Yeah, I love power bombs. These guys little suckers are great.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, a lot of little secret stuff in this area. It's pretty tricky. Yeah, this is red doors, I think.
Yep.
So I might be thinking of the...
Alright.
Yeah, I actually don't think you need...
No door can hold me now.
It's cool. So...
unlike Vox Machina, I beat doors. 5
of the 13 bosses in Fusion have been featured in other Metroid games. It's 5 if you count the second boss being the a guy who was a Chozo statue, even though you didn't fight him as he was a Chozo statue. You still do fight Chozo statues in the other Metroid games.
Sure.
So I'm going to count him, and we'll say 5 of the 13 have been featured in other Metroid games, which is outside of Metroid 1 and Super Metroid literally having the same bosses again, like minus Fantoon, Crocomire, like
I don't need to fight Crocomire again.
Those are obvious times where you fight the bosses again, but in all the other games they don't. At least in Dread and in, I think some of the Prime games, you're not fighting the same guys all the time. I mean, you're always fighting Ridley. That's just how it is. But this game does have a lot of original bosses, obviously, but also a lot of bosses you already fought before. And in the older Metroid games, the different zones were heavily themed after the primary boss in that area, where that's not as much of the case in this game. But that is, at the same time, there was less bosses.
Yeah. And
so it makes sense that you can have, here's the part of Norfair, which has literally got, like, Ridley's face, like, chiseled into stone everywhere, right? But to get around those areas, right, in the older games, you had certain items that would unlock the doors, right? Certain items would help you progress. It wouldn't just be like, I have the speed booster now, so now I can speed through. Yeah. It was literally, I have the super missile, so now there's a level of doors I can unlock. Like, I can blow up green doors with the super missile. I can blow up red doors with the normal missile. I can blow up yellow doors with the power bomb. But in this game, there's a security and lock mechanic, right? You just opened level 5 doors. And while items help you get around, they obviously don't open doors. And so I think it's kind of interesting, is probably another choice with it being a portable and with the linear approach they wanted to take, that they did the locks and can heavily control where you can go. There's less sequence breaking in this game because of that. But what do you think about that? Would you rather it be security locks, or would you rather it be, I have the super missile, now I can open green doors?
I like the security locks, which again, I'm sure I'm just biased about.
That's okay, though, if you are.
Just because
you have
this
to
is the
boost
game I
through
grew
that.
up with.
Or not. Well, I've always tried to boost through that. Well.
Yeah, okay, I'll come back to that. I need to get the diffusion
It's
missiles, which are, like, right here. I think it's diffusion. It's one of those funky words that I like, that sound cool.
I always forget this area, man.
Yeah, this is, like, my least... We're getting into the territory where I've kind of just
played the less, because it's the further back parts of the game, right?
Yes.
But
okay.
you just sped through
Fusion.
this
Here we go.
so much faster than I ever have, so...
So, essentially, we get charge missiles, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
We do this.
This is very important.
Oh, dang it. That one got up. Okay.
In solving some late game puzzles, if you're trying to get 100% items, you definitely need to use the fusion missile a lot.
Alright, so this is where Adam's gonna be all like, Samus. I'm gonna actually recharge so I can get my power bombs back.
Yeah, you need those guys.
Yeah, I use them too much.
That's okay. They're there to be used.
No saving.
Have you ever played a Metroid randomizer?
No.
No.
I don't know a whole lot about these things.
You could probably do this game.
That's unusual.
Actually, you probably couldn't.
There was no word
because
from
it's
HQ.
not.
A procedural error, I'm sure. Even so, I did not approve of bypassing security level 4. You will use more discretion. That sounds like Adam. In any case, Samus, do you remember the security robot? Yes. I believe the X infected it, I'm sure. I claimed organic compound, neural network, gel packs.
Knock. Yeah.
You know what to do.
Gotta go get him.
Do I really?
Go get him.
You know, Adam is he's really, like, straying the line. Like, he knows we can beat it, but at the same time, man, he doesn't know that we're going to kind of figure everything out. And then we actually get to, like, have Samus talk.
Which is different.
Yeah. Up until this point...
Samus had never talked.
Samus has never talked,
Most
except
people
in
didn't even
Super
know.
Metroid.
Most people, like, that's the thing. People didn't know Samus was a girl until, they saw her die in Super Metroid, right?
Or in old Metroid.
Or, I don't think you... I think when you die, you just die.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was Super Metroid.
And the same is probably true in Metroid 2. Obviously, there's the thing where you beat the game and you see...
Leave knock immediately. Now he's lying to us.
Girl Samus, but... It's very interesting. Getting to see Samus talk. And obviously, they've tried to do that more in Other M, and that's where they tried to flesh her out as a character, right? But
is it power bomb or is it screw attack?
This was the first time we ever. It's probably speed. First time we ever. I guess not. Maybe you can't go that way.
Oh, that's right. Because I did this before.
I think it's the first time we ever saw her talk. Was here.
She
and
talks,
her diary, and not her diary, but we get to see her inner monologue too in this game, right?
Well, it's Super Metroid.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this game has her whole inner thoughts. Which is really neat, and I like that from the protagonist. Because silent protagonists are cool, and during this point in time, Nintendo was doing the silent protagonist thing a lot. I mean, Metroid and Zelda were the same in that regard.
That's just always how they've done it. I mean, Mario doesn't talk either.
Well, yeah,
but
Mario makes noises.
So does Link, but... And Samus technically makes noises. Get hit real fast. There you go.
I mean voice lines, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Mario has a name. Link has a name, but for the longest time he was enter your name and that's what your name is going to be in the game.
Yeah. You're just playing as him, and he does talk. There, you know, Breath of the Wild, you do have like text options.
I feel like I'm going the right way.
It's really interesting to have Samus being this actual fleshed out character, being Samus Aran, right? And we don't.
No, I think I need
it's a secret green area, right? That comes around, and she's actually got a name. She's got a face. She's got missions she's gone on, right? But
she's totally
don't
not
see
Ellen
her
Ripley.
talk ever, really. But yeah, I really like the story in this game. I like the direction they went. I think what they do with Adam is really interesting. Especially kind of in our modern day where we talk about like, well, there's this computer who was literally programmed to follow orders. But the computer at the same time, like, Brandon and I kind of got into this conversation on the Risk of Rain thing the other day. I don't know how, but we started talking about AI. And it was like, what if you teach the AI compassion and teach the AI grace and teach the AI right and wrong, eventually it'll probably, like, develop its own idea of what that is.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what happens with Adam here. Is he's this robot computer that's programmed to follow orders.
Well, he's also programmed to be just like the original Adam.
Yeah, but eventually he starts deciding between right and wrong. And in his case, he's like, well, they're ordering me to do something wrong. And, you know, we see that. You don't need to save. You got this guy.
I hope. I don't like boss second phase. He's a little harder.
Then why aren't you saving?
Yeah, it's fine.
I think you got him. You got the health and the stuff for it. When in doubt, save state it out. But, uh-oh. Yeah, that's early. That's early. You have to go back and fight him first. Dude, the first time I saw that, I was like, what is this?
Alright, here we go.
It's a secret area. It wasn't. It was part of the game.
I don't think I actually registered what was going on here, because I was in the mode of, like, I'm unlocking new things. What is all of this?
What is all this, yeah. Alright, power bomb, power bomb.
Yeah. Ugh. Jeez.
Man, that's hard because he jumps into you.
I don't like this version of Fox.
In the water. Alright, Scott. Did you save?
No, I didn't.
Might need to throw a little state out.
No, it's cheating. If I die, I die.
Okay. We'll, let's see what happens. See what happens. I believe in you.
I don't believe in me.
You got it. Just take your time. React, don't predict. There you go. Just keep that. Just stick with that, though. It works. Break this stuff. Try to. Stay patient. You're good. Take your time. You don't need to hit him, so.
You don't have to, like, pep talk me through this, dude. I got it.
I am, man. I believe.
That's gonna make for terrible if people are just sitting here watching us play this old game, like, with no commentary.
Listen, man. This is... They're if they've watched this far, they're invested in the journey.
Yeah. I've clicked off of videos for less.
You're invested now, and it's this thing. Like, I'm I'm here and I'm worried, but hey, I believe in you. You got this fight for sure. You don't need to save. So.
Once again, which is why I don't need the pep talk. I got it.
But also, just trying to make sure you're there, man. In the gonna destroy box mindset, you know. Ooh, that's different. Switched it up. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't the charge being great?
It's fine. I wish I could grab onto things better.
Ooh, dude. Yeah. Oh, he's almost there.
Yeah, just thought I'd try. Man, you're stressing out more than I am. If I die, I wasn't a warrior enough.
Dude. What? He's got so much health.
This is probably not the best way to fight him either.
Oh.
You're sweating too much, buddy. Oof. Well, we'll be back.
Oh man, how far?
We're yellow still. I can get through it. It's fine. We gotta go here in a bit anyway.
Bro. Yeah, you're so far back. Alright. We'll end with a few more questions and then we'll call it good. So, do you prefer Metroid as a console or a portable?
Probably portable. I mean, I've only really ever known it as portable because I've done Dread and Game Boy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Dread was Switch, so that's just kind of how I've always known it.
Yeah.
Just taunt him.
And then, yeah, so there's something about Dread that's very that I don't know if it's very interesting. I thought it was interesting, but playing it, like, it's honestly not a super long game. And
I'm gonna try it.
Maybe
see what happens.
People expected more from it, lengthwise, but it's not a super long game. It's probably longer than Fusion, but you know, I thought it was very. I think it did it decently well, but it was very clearly trying to live the balance between console Metroid and portable Metroid. So, was that your first death?
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, it was definitely trying to balance between console Metroid and portable Metroid. And I think it did it pretty okay. But
we need to save rooms.
Yeah, Metroid is. I think 2D Metroid is kind of going to be more like fan wise is going to be more associated with portable at this point, just because of
Probably.
how often it's been portable in the past few years.
I think that depends on the person, though.
It really hasn't been.
What?
Well, I'm saying like new fans, like 2D Metroid hasn't been console since Super Metroid.
Yeah.
Like it was just portable for all that time, right? And that's
Stupid little bug.
interesting,
things.
right? But I don't know if they'll ever kind of try to bring Metroid back to the kind of style that Super Metroid was. I don't know if they need to at the same time, right? It's its own thing, but I'm not saying, oh, you gotta bring back the old mechanics or the old, gameplay. I'm just talking about from a length perspective, from a probably like game design perspective, or like exploration perspective. Maybe they could go back to that more older style, but I think what they have now works, and I don't mind having more narrative kind of Metroid stuff. I think that's pretty fun. So just because we still don't know much about Samus, we still don't know much about,
You're saying this all with the
who's the
context of
character,
not really seeing the end of Dread, because it changes a lot of things. That ending is important.
But I mean, like we haven't had all these games
Sure.
to have Samus talk to us. Like we don't. There's still so much we don't
Yeah.
like. So much time we haven't spent with the character, right?
Why?
That I'm okay with them still doing more like slightly linear story based Metroid stuff. So just keep doing what you're doing, Nintendo. Keep doing what you're doing. Dude, you were so close to beating that guy. I thought there was about 6 times in a row where I was about to say, okay, he's one more hit.
I know, right?
But he just kept...
I think the missiles might be the better way to fight him.
But you can't
with.
hit him is the problem.
Yeah.
Not consistently.
There's something in there. Oh well.
That's difficult, dude. So, why do you like Metroid? Kind of to, as we start to end here, just why do you like it?
I like science fiction, and I think Metroid is a very specific style of science fiction. I think it kind of it has a lot to relate to with things like early Star Trek, so like the Enterprise kind of era.
Yeah.
And then things like almost kind of has a little bit to relate with like Star Wars or Halo or Starship Troopers or like things like that.
Yeah.
It's the idea of like you got this little federation of humans, but then there's this entire galaxy of aliens and just all this weirdness that goes on.
Yeah.
That Samus is kind of like in the middle of. And she's like, she's called a bounty hunter, but she's the good guy. She tries to do the right thing.
Yeah. Yeah. She's basically like a good guy that is just not part of the Federation, right? The Federation hires her to go do stuff
because she quit. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I don't know the old
she don't want to take orders
behind
anymore.
that or whatever. Because wasn't there like an old Metroid manga, right?
Yes, there was.
That's got some of that story, but I don't know that.
So I think that story only leads up to I don't know how much of her time in the Federation it covers. But it does talk about like how her parents died or who killed her parents and how did she become who she was and all that stuff.
A whole lot of Ridley.
How did she get her power suit and all that? So
yeah.
Although I don't actually think any of that is actual canon anymore. It's just kind of all like I don't know. It is what it is now.
I don't know. Yeah.
Nightmare.
It's definitely interesting though, the Samus's story or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I like it. It's cool. I like science fiction.
From where Scott just died with Box, like there's actually not too much game after that.
There's like 2 more bosses.
Yeah, 2 more bosses and then an escape sequence. And obviously, if you're trying to get 100% you can, but
I'm
for
good.
him, he probably would have got through it in like 30 minutes at that point.
Maybe, if I'm
So you've
correct.
almost seen the entirety of Metroid Fusion. You didn't see the big important like ending climax part,
Cool
but
to go through destroyed doors.
you know, it might be better that that's left to, you know, you the viewer who goes on to play the game to figure out yourself and experience. So yeah, you got any final thoughts, Scott, as we wrap up?
I don't think so. No, I mean, it's a fun game. Go play it. It's on the Switch now.
Fun game, go
I mean,
play
you
it.
gotta pay for like a subscription or whatever, but
Yeah.
the subscription's worth it. All that Game Boy stuff is pretty good. And you get all the 64, and I think it's Sega Genesis now. That's kind of neat. It's worth it, is what I'm
What
trying
about
to say.
final thoughts just about Metroid in general?
Samus is cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of alien stuff there. She's like
Yeah.
Ripley.
Metroid was inspired by Alien.
What? Really? Oh,
That's-
shocker.
If you ever listen to anything that's like teaching you about Metroid, they'll say, "Did you know?" Right?
Did you know?
Metroid was inspired by.
Blah 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 blah. Xavier.
Yeah, something like that.
So
But
we-
yeah, final thoughts. It's a good game.
Yes.
I grew up with it. It's Scott's second favorite game, I'm assuming. If it's not this anymore, but he likes
It varies.
It's a good time. I like it. I think it's a good time. Speedrunning's cool. Metroid is cool. The Switch is kind of your only way to play this right now, unless you have an old Game Boy. You know, if you're not wanting to go the illegally download ROMs direction. So, yeah, that's kind of it, though. We are pretty much, I think, gonna call it here. So,
Okay.
I'd just like to say, just, you know, thanks for watching. We love you. We're praying for you. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May his face smile on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord show you his favor and give you his peace. Thanks for watching. I'm Nathaniel.
I'm
This
Scott.
is Scott. And
I'm about to shoot this guy in the ball.
he's about to shoot this guy. So, you want to shoot him?
Yes.
Great.
Shot him.
All right. Hey, it's been a few days. Scott decided he wanted to finish the game. So
I'm
let's
doing
go.
it. Let's do
Yeah.
this.
So we're just gonna finish it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
can do this. This is easy.
Yeah.
You know, if I
Beatbox.
can
I
actually
mean, you
kill
kind
this
of you
thing.
have to at this point, right?
Yes. Your pride is at stake. I gotta remember how to do
He
this.
saved, so I'm not stressed anymore.
Yeah. There we go. Okay, I see. Buttons.
Yeah, we had a limited amount of time, and I knew if he died, then we'd run out of time. But he decided he wanted to finish it, so we're going to.
Woo!
Are you gonna try to go for missiles more this time?
No.
No.
I'm just gonna
It
hit
looks
him with
like they're
whatever I
doing
can.
more damage.
Does it?
Yeah, that was the thought we had last time. Is the reason why the fight maybe took so long and you didn't end up beating him right
Sure,
is
let's try
because you were only hitting him with one of your 3 plasma beams
Oh, I see.
generally, and so if you could get missiles in, then maybe he'll die faster. It's just harder to land those is the problem.
Yeah, and if I have to get in at missile range, then he's able to hit me with his jump.
Yeah, but he's already going down. It looks like. Gotta get a little closer.
Ugh. Use this nifty. Oh,
Those don't do more damage, by the way.
dang.
Yeah. Little closer.
Hey, look
Okay,
at that.
that's
I
what
guess
it is
is
then.
missiles.
It was missiles. And now we know.
Oh, I can actually.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe. Did we do that joke last time?
We absolutely did.
Oh,
I think so. Right? It's been a few days.
okay, so this is what, the wave beam or whatever?
Yeah, so bullets go through walls.
Yeah.
Which normally I think in some Metroid games you get the wave beam before the plasma beam. I believe
Sure.
in
Hey, why not?
yeah, in Super Metroid you get the wave beam first. But it's not as strong, obviously, as it is when you get the plasma upgrade.
Well, hey, I'm gonna be honest with you, Tex. I actually don't care much for the wave beam. I think it looks ridiculous.
It goes through walls though.
Yeah.
That's pretty handy. So.
I do like its charge variant, but I like the straight. I like what did we get last time?
The
straight
plasma
version.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
that's
the
cool.
green lasers. Yeah. Yes, it's definitely handy when you're going for completion, just because you're able to shoot enemies through walls, right? But this game, the missiles are so strong, and there's so many of them that there's really not much reason to not use the missiles.
Nah.
Right.
Okay, so real quick recap. We had to go fight Mr. Dude and go right back to Adam, but the way that we came in is shut. So the only way out is presumably this way.
This way, with the no entrance, no authorization. But
Yeah.
Samus has the wave beam now.
Yeah, the wave
and so
beam.
there are these doors that normally you can't cross because you can't shoot that thing,
Bang.
and now you can.
I'm in.
Samus has
cheated.
got some cheats.
Yes. So, restricted zone, we get to find out why the Federation doesn't want us here.
Yeah. Doesn't want.
What's the point of the big
yeah.
old station?
Why, and why not? This is something we were talking about a few days ago before we even did the playthrough. Is we were like, it's fine, you don't need to save. Okay, you beat Box. I trust you.
This looks just like the station.
Something we talked
Metroid.
about was, well, why wouldn't the Federation, once they realize no one's alive, why not just have Samus leave and blow it all up?
Right.
But there's something they were trying to
Metroids! Ooh, these little buggers.
the
The
big
baby.
bads. Yeah, the babies. They're probably all babies.
We got one Metroid. This is the next evolution of the Metroid. There's this
Yeah.
one, and I think this is called an Omega Metroid.
The Omega's the big one.
Is
though.
this the one before the Omega?
Yeah, it would have to be, yes.
And then there's the Queen after the Omega.
Yeah. So you get in
What
here
is
and you're
going
like, there's
on?
Metroids, and then stuff starts going nuts.
Oh, look.
Uh-oh.
It's Blues McGee. And he's like, oh. Well, I'm not going to get involved in that.
And he
60
got
seconds
caught.
to detachment. Woo.
Gotta get out of there.
Yeah, I know. I just hugged the wall.
Get your space jumping.
Blah. There we go.
Yeah.
We get out, and it goes bye-bye.
And that blows up.
Yeah. At least the Federation was smart that, hey, we're going to put all this restricted stuff on the part that we can shoot
So
off
that
in case
way,
things go bad.
if this whole Metroid thing does go wrong, we
Yeah.
can blow them up. Yeah.
Samus, you shouldn't have done that. You ignored your orders. You may have to pay a price. Ooh, Samus talks. He's been secretly working on a Metroid breeding program. For peaceful application only, of course.
Of course.
Please
What else
understand.
would it be for?
Then you saw Sector 1. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty...
Alpha, Gamma, Zeta, and even Omega Metroids. Hey, they need to make... They made Zeta Gundam. They need to make Alpha, Gamma, and Omega Gundam.
Well, Omega Gundam might be a thing.
Okay.
And I think they also have like Delta Gundam. I don't know if they have an Alpha Gundam. Well, they might. I don't know.
But why wasn't
Omega
Double
from
Zeta
Larval
just
Metroid in days? That's scary.
Omega?
He says for peaceful application only, and then you got like Omega Metroids, which are like kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what if we could just do this? It's just like, really? It's not its natural enemy and one of the SAX, the SAX.
One of, yeah.
Samus Aran X, saying there's more than one SAX. Don't be so surprised, Samus. Asexual division.
There are now no fewer than 10.
It would have been cool if we actually had to like
Yeah.
run into them.
Well, in the modern day, they could.
Yeah. Get out. If you stay too long, they will destroy you. Stop only at navigation mode. Uplink to me. I don't know how HQ is going to take this, but you need to report to them immediately. No!
Did you really hit no?
Yes.
Oh. Okay, we'll go back through this. Yeah, I'd played this
I was
game
being defiant.
forever, and always I'd played it multiple times, and I'd only ever gotten like to right before the box fight, and had never seen this latter part of the game.
Really?
And the first time I played through it, I had no idea. I knew what the game ended, but I'd never seen that restricted section, and so I was like, whoa, is this some secret Easter egg I found? Is this some
Nope.
hidden area?
It's the story.
No, it's the story, and it was a cool story, and it was huge. It was super cool. I didn't know there was 10 SAX either.
This
So.
kicks us out at. The real Adam would have said the same thing about that incident, but he would have softened the blow. He was relentless.
In his criticism, but he always cared. Relentless.
Oh, that's funny. Wall. Nothing.
So this is a weird part of the game where at this point you have all the abilities.
This looks
but,
just like Mother Brain.
What do they call that? Torian. Yeah. Mother Brain place.
Oh.
Let's go
Wow,
Torian.
I didn't even know that was there. That's handy.
Well, now you know.
Annoying. I'm not gonna do this joke
There's
again.
half
It's
the
dead.
battle.
We killed this joke already.
Scott, we
Wow, I got a red one
have
on
been
that.
telling that joke to each other for
Yeah, you're
like
not wrong.
15 years.
It's the danger kiwis.
Yeah, so you have the wave beam, and in a minute here you're gonna get the screw attack, which is
I'm so excited for the screw attack.
probably Samus's most iconic.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about
iconic.
iconic. I think iconic is.
Well,
I don't know.
It's the symbol. You know, the screw attack symbol. It's in Smash Bros. You know, there's screw attack media. There's the Metroid logo. The S kind of
Yeah.
resembles the screw attack. Like, it's the one you think of a lot. That's the
there.
screw attack. Yeah, you don't have that yet.
It looks
And-
cool, and I wish we had it for more of the game.
You need it to 100% the game, but you kind of get in this situation where you're locked out of certain areas. And so what you have to do is you have to find secret exits and secret paths to get back to
This is a puzzle.
the sectors. And once you get to the sectors, you can use there are hidden passages between the sectors that you can use to get to the end of the game. Well, not to get to the end of the game, but to get to the other areas and grab all the items. Because what happens is the elevators get locked. Like, once you get to the end game, you get your final mission from Adam. The elevators get locked, and you're basically railroaded to the end. And so you have to avoid a navigation room at all costs, which means you can't use the elevators, and you have to find other ways to get around. And so there are secret passages hidden all over the station and the sectors to get to all the other places. And so once you get the screw attack, you can go out and about and do all that stuff and find the hidden passages. And
Woo!
yeah, it's a fun time, but it is definitely kind of difficult if you don't have a map or anything telling you where to go and what to do. Either way, this is a fun game to
These dudes hurt.
get all the items on. If you play Metroid games and have not really done that ever, this is not a bad one to start with.
Yes. Beef. Alright.
What about it?
Beef's good. Alright, let's see. I'm kind of explaining a little bit because this
Going
is.
down.
This. Huh?
I said going down.
This specific part of the game is probably the least explored for me.
It only makes sense. You know, every time you start the game, you play the beginning, and usually when someone restarts a game, they don't always beat it every time. Maybe
Yeah.
they'll just play it for a few hours, right? And so as you get to the end, it's you know this part less and less and less.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, did I go the right
Look.
way? I was trying to
Another
go the wrong way.
boss.
Oh, alright.
I think the path up you needed.
This is my favorite Metroid boss of all time. Here we go.
Oh really? Let's do it.
Yeah, we talked about it last time.
Yeah. I think the path up
It's
you
Ribbles.
needed the screw attack to
Oh, I
progress,
gotta hear
so
it.
That's
Here
where
we
you're
go. Yes!
doing. The screen. Ooh, put some lag there. Yeah, the charge beam works.
Try doing
wonders
this with
on
missiles.
guy.
It sucks. Ooh.
Maybe you should have tried with missiles.
Nah.
That's how you beat him in the other ones generally. In Super Metroid, it's just super missiles, brains out. There you go.
Whoops.
Favorite boss, and was not too tricky.
No. No, Ridley never is. Ridley's easy. He's always weak. He's weak to plasma, like, all the time. Well, I can't say he's never, like, hard or he's always easy, because I've never, like, beaten him in any of the Prime games. So I don't know what those fights are like. I think they look really cool, though.
They look awesome.
Here we go. I like that sprite. It's kind of cool. Just the blur effect.
Yeah.
Somersault into enemies. Yes.
There you go. Now
The
you
up
can-
B in Smash Bros.
Yes. Fun fact also,
I can kill these things now.
in Metroid games, if you charge up your charge beam and
Yeah.
jump into people, they'll get hurt. But
I
the
did
difference
that.
is, unlike the screw attack, it will hurt you
I
as
did
well.
that earlier in the run.
Oh, you did?
in Area
I didn't
4.
notice that.
Yeah.
You
I think it was Area 4,
You
but
remember
in
that
Area
from
3.
all these days ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I know
Good-
I
good memory.
usually end up doing that in Area 4 is because I remember, because if you sit on the screen for too long, it'll show you the demo of the game,
Okay.
and that's where I learned how to do that.
How did you
Oh, a
the
long time
charge
ago.
jump
Charge
into people?
stomp.
Yeah. Okay.
That thing, yeah. Just because I saw that in the demo where they were at Area 4, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh, that's smart. I should try that.
Yeah.
All these save rooms. Who needs them?
Oh, remember you're supposed to go
Yeah, I know.
that one area
Okay.
you could not progress through.
Yep.
The
Go
floor.
stomp through the floor.
The floor is
Lava.
lava.
Blah, 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 blah.
But good news, the gravity suit makes you invincible to lava.
Blah, blah, blah.
They don't have lava in this. Oh, they have.
They do.
have lava. Or is it acid? Is the question.
Acid's
In,
right in front of
in
us.
Zero Mission, and I guess by extension Metroid 1, there's both acid and lava in that game.
Yeah.
So the various suit makes you immune to acid, and
Does it?
the gravity suit makes you immune to lava.
Oh, wow. And we were here before, because this is Sectola 1.
Yes, and so now you're just trying to get to a nav room, like Mr. 88M has asked you to.
Adami. Wait, that's Star Trek.
That's Star Trek. Adami.
Adami. Or Adani?
I think it's Adami.
Adami?
Yeah.
And Golden Cod.
Golden Cod.
What a just a
Pretty-
sleazeball.
Good villain though.
But a sleazeball. I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna take the long way.
I think both.
Oh look, Metroid hatching.
Yeah. I
Crazy.
think both ways are
Just break all these.
about the same.
It's fun.
Up, up, and away.
I'm just thinking, let's hit all of the little rooms that I missed, because I know there's a big old lava room in here somewhere. I see it. It's up there.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I need to do that, I'm gonna go here. And yes, I did see that one clear
How do you get up? Do you go through the floor?
there. I went the wrong way.
Can you? Well,
I
it
can-
looks
I
like
can-
you can go through the floor. Why don't you check? Can you like screw tack or power bomb through the floor?
So over here will take me to the boss room,
I mean,
the first one. Now I
above
can't.
where you just were.
No, I
Okay.
can't. It's easy though. I can go around. Is this a save room? Probably.
We
A
don't.
lot.
We don't
Then
like
it's
those.
a save room.
Or you don't. I do. I like save rooms.
I mean, usually, at least for me, I know where I need to save. And I know where I should have saved. Har har.
Do you have a favorite save room?
I
always thought the ones in
No.
Metroid Prime looked really cool.
Oh, you mean in all of Metroid? I thought you meant this game, and I'm like, no.
Your favorite? What is your? If you were
Clearly
a
not.
speedrunner, what is your most prioritized save room? Clearly the one before box. Not anymore though, as you have also now just blown that guy up really easily. So.
Box is a load of dead. My favorite save room, just by looks, I think the ones from Dread are cool.
Yeah, those are cool.
I am going to go to lava rooms. I'm gonna go do that real quick. Not because I need to or I'm trying to beat any time. I just think it's gonna be fun.
That's what we're about here.
Yeah.
Is welcome to the fun zone.
This is where the fun begins.
Yeah.
Lava. Yeah, you're mute. I always, I would actually usually go and get that. Are you just gonna skip that missile?
I'll come back for it.
Okay. I'd
Oh,
usually.
so it's in there.
This is a zone that the first time you encounter this, you can actually survive getting the missile. That's usually what I would do. Is I'd go and get that. I couldn't get over there, but I would get the first missile,
Yeah.
and then I'd come back later when I had the gravity suit.
This is a fun room.
And there's more.
Yeah.
More? Did you say?
Pickles. All right, there we go.
What is that pickles thing from?
Don't worry about
Okay.
it. Indie games.
Okay. I was doing Jar Jar, but more did you
That's
speak?
okay.
That's what he says. More did you speak?
All right, we're back. We never went in that green room over there. Let's go do it real quick. Why not? I love obliterating aliens by jumping into them.
It's cool. Yeah, there's got to be something here. Ah,
Boom.
up and away.
Power bomb. Flop.
Because you totally need those. You end up with, if you 100% this game, I think you end up with like 50 power bombs or something.
That's a lot.
Which
Just
you,
sit there and go boom.
You don't need any of them. You really don't need more than like 14. And
Boom.
you get much more than that.
Yep. Let's see where we're
Let's
at.
see. Yeah, how many you got?
Nice.
140-18.
All right, we got one boss
With-
left. Save.
Was that 11?
Hey.
11 health bars?
Sure. Why not?
11
All
turns.
right. Samus, we're done here. Leave the rest to do Federation. We do the preparing.
To evacuate the station.
She's like, are you joking? Do they know how dangerous the X are? That's not how she sounds. Federation has taken an interest in the X and the SAX. They believe the life form has endless
Oh.
potential applications.
It's all about
Heartless abominations.
weapons and power and money and
Yeah.
turbines to speed.
You should just leave quietly. This is madness. It's just crazy. These people are stupid. They don't expect your help. They knew you would try and destroy it. That's why they stopped sending you support data. The plasma beam modification was ready some time ago, but they withheld it to keep you from engaging. Yeah, that makes sense.
But somehow you restored it on your own. Yeah.
The fusion upgraded because they didn't want you to grow too powerful. Wow. It's just so
Fools.
tense. As soon as the Federation ships land, the X will overwhelm them and absorb the knowledge and power of their occupants. The X are just waiting for the hub to be. This is Samus talking. But,
Yeah.
The
Galactic
Spark has-
civilization will end.
Yeah.
The X hunger for form, knowledge, and power.
Oh, they're wizards. They make these perfectly, but they cannot copy their soul. They're single-minded, instinctively seeking to increase in number. Now they're not
plague.
wizards.
Yeah.
I must destroy them all before the Federation arrives.
Like someone trying to cover up
I must
evidence.
use it to destroy the
I
X.
must destroy all this before the feds arrive.
And myself if I have to. Man, she's great.
Yeah. Oh, and you can't leave. That's great storytelling right there.
Open the hatch. Yep.
Making it so you had to realize he wasn't gonna let you leave.
Oof, she dropped the name. Who is Adam? What would this friend advise you to do now? You know how important it is.
Some must live and some must die.
Yeah. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If you don't like... I mean, at the time when this came out, we didn't have, like, other M.
Yeah, we didn't
like,
know
the
who
full
Adam
backstory.
was. Yeah.
So, for that, I will give Other M that neat little thing.
That they
How foolish.
taught us who Adam was. Yeah.
You know that detonating the station, however, would not guarantee the complete extinction of the X-Parasites, even though the station would be utterly destroyed. With the one obstacle to the galaxy's joy.
Oh.
Wow. You ignore this simple fact and choose death. Would live, he chose incorrectly. Then you might be able to include the planet in the vaporization field. That's good. Start the propulsion sequence now, before the Federation arrives. Nice.
Yeah.
We get this one little spill. Alright. And stay alive. That's an order. Yeah!
Yeah.
Any objections, lady? That's good.
That's great.
That's good.
They didn't do that in Dread, did he?
Yes.
He said that
He
in
did.
Dread? Okay.
It was just, any objections, lady? And he only says it once in the entire game.
Okay.
It is at the beginning.
Because we don't know how long Adam was not Adam.
Yeah.
That was a
Man, we're just
twist.
spoiling all the Metroid.
Listen, it's you can't. Yeah,
It's
a
Metroid,
YouTube.
dude.
It's a YouTube.
It's like a 4-hour game.
But also, you're watching someone play games on YouTube where they're talking about the game
Yeah.
and going through the experience yourself. Either you need to be okay with not getting spoiled. Well, either you need to be okay with getting
Preach it,
spoiled,
sister.
or just play the game for yourself before you go
Right.
play.
Icy place.
He's not
no
there anymore.
riddles.
You can screw tag through that, right?
Oh, I don't know. I don't care.
Okay. I was gonna ask if you wanted to find out.
Sure, I'll
but
try it real quick.
There we
Why
go.
not? Yeah, I'll try it.
Let's see.
Blah.
No, that didn't work.
I
Fireball?
think it's just a door.
Oh.
Right.
Hey, fun fact. Hold it right there. You see that thing? Oh.
What?
You see those things right in front of you? Those are ladders.
I know, right? Crazy.
I didn't know forever that they were ladders because the way it works, they only make the top part of it.
Yeah.
be
I
jump
love
onable,
just the
but-
senior. This it's like, oh, you got stairs here, you got a ladder to lead up here, but then you have to like pull yourself up just to get back up to the next floor.
Yeah.
Way to go,
What
scientists.
a way to build a station. Hey, they wanted the scientists to stay really fit. So
it's missiles. Who cares?
they made it so they have to constantly exercise their upper body strength. Powerbomb.
Oh, that's right. I don't think I've been here before. Is this where I needed to go? No, this is
No, it's more power bombs.
another power bomb.
It's no, you go through the wall.
Oh, that's
You're
right.
right.
That's right. It's like right up here. Blop, blop, bomb, bang. What?
No, it was the other one. It was the other one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the higher one.
There we go.
Through the wall.
Bloop. Bop. Alright. And
Alright.
that will take us to the
You're going
habitation. looking
down.
thing. Yeah.
All right, you think you're gonna kill this guy first try?
Probably. Do you want me to save?
I am more worried about the escape sequence than the,
No, that's fine.
because that's the only thing I've ever really struggled with. Is not necessarily the boss as much as the escape sequence.
No, I think it'll be fine.
Not the escaping, but what happens at the end of the escaping.
No, I know.
Just probably the one thing about this game we've yet to spoil. Is the end of the
I know, right?
escaping.
We've spoiled the end of some of
We've-
the other games.
We've
not that
spoiled
one.
the other game, but not. Yeah, we have purposely. I've specifically been very cryptic when referring to the end of this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. This is where it all ends. Sorta.
Yes.
I want
This
to
is
point...
where it ended for 19 years.
Yes. I want to point out that we can't go into that hatch anymore that we opened in the beginning of the game. Because we can't escape from this fight.
Yeah. You're like, whoa, why can't I go anywhere? Look who it is. So, pro tip, or at least basically here's how the fight works for those of you who may end up struggling with this. Your missiles can't hurt him, but they can freeze him. And your plasma beam is what's going to do all the damage. So you're shooting him with a charge shot, and you're freezing him to give you time to move or to charge up your shot. So that's the dynamic here.
He's got to lose his form.
Oh man. Ooh, that was close.
Yeah, he grows and gets all gross.
Yeah, he's a big guy now. I think this form's easier than
Yeah, it's way easier.
the first. Yeah, just a few shots. He's freaking out.
That's that.
Now we know.
And then
how
it's
to,
a
we,
new
we
one.
know how to fight these guys. Corax.
I didn't want to risk it. That was too close for comfort.
Oh, were you mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Woo!
Oh. That was close. That's it. Get it, get it, get it.
I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
no.
Oh no. Oh well.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright, now we go blow the thing up. Or sorta. It's kinda neat. This is the one room in the game I think is the prettiest to me.
Look,
Despite
but
the
you
fact that
only
we're
see
only ever
it
gonna see it right
for
now.
like 5 seconds, but
Yeah.
it looks awesome.
We got 3 minutes. Let's do this.
Yeah. This is how every Metroid game ends. You gotta
Yep.
run.
And we don't get to recharge or do anything like that because all the hatches are sealed.
Or sealed. Yep.
All right. Boom, 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 boom. This is the Meta Ridley, or I guess it's just Ridley.
Really, yes, the Ridley.
Meta Ridley's is a little more.
Ah!
Wow, that's Neo Ridley.
Oh, Neo Ridley.
Meta Ridley
Yeah,
is Prime 2 and 3.
Prime, I think he's Meta Ridley in Prime 1, 2 as well.
Oh, okay.
And I think, isn't the clone in Other M technically?
No.
Because that's who you're fighting.
Yeah,
That's
this
who
is
you fight
the
in this-
clone from
the,
Other M.
Well, I guess the clone in Other M was turned into an X, but the Ridley that was on ice in this game was from Other M, which the one in Other M was a clone.
Yeah.
Because Ridley dies in Super Metroid.
Correct.
In all the other games, when you beat the boss, like something, the death animation is different pretty much. But in Super Metroid, it's literally like,
Wow, so-
like body splatter.
Does that mean? Oh, look at all this destroyed.
What happened?
What happened? My ship. Oh, that
Oh,
can't
no.
be good. Oh no. Omega
There it is.
Metroid.
Gotta beat him.
Did we fight any Omegas in Samus 2? Metroid 2?
I think final boss might have been right.
I thought the final boss was an Omega. Oh look.
That's
the
what I'm
thing
saying.
I
I
didn't
think
get.
I haven't played that game, so or
Teaching
I
me
haven't,
how
I
to
haven't,
fight.
I haven't beat it. But yeah, I think you eventually get to the Omegas.
So I feel like this itself isn't a tough fight. This is just a I feel like this is just kind of ouch.
Yeah, you just have to not get hit really. But this is
Dang it.
the SAX. Its enemy its enemy is the Metroid, so it's willing to give itself up if it means you're gonna kill the Metroid, which is kind of crazy. But
Kind of cool though.
you now look kind of like normal Samus.
I've got fins though.
You're orange, but you're not armored
Yeah.
still, and you're able to shoot the ice beam again, so that's cool.
And it actually just dies this time.
Yeah, you just blew it up. Because that was not an X. That was a real creature. Purple ship.
Blah, 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 blah. The cooler ship.
There you go.
The orange one's fine, but this one's cooler. And it just goes... breaks out of the wall. That's cool.
I would love if for the next Metroid game, you planet hop.
Yeah?
Like in Prime Hunters.
Well, thankfully the next game is a Prime game.
Oh, I mean the next 2D Metroid.
Oh.
I'd love if they
well.
took Dread, the next Dread game, or the continuation to Dread, and let you go back, like instead of having different zones on every planet,
Yeah.
let you go back and forth between planets. Well, instead of having one zone with a ton of planets, like, wait, one planet with a ton of zones, let you, like,
Sonic.
go between different planets. That'd
Yeah.
be kind of cool.
Well,
Oh, and ending monologue.
ending monologue where we find out that computer who is actually Adam, sort of, because they uploaded his brain to the computer.
The computer has all the brains of the smart Federation people, which makes sense, because it's supposed to be
Yeah.
a smart Federation AI, so...
Yep. Oof.
We're
Good
all
stuff.
bound by our experiences. They are the limits of our consciousness. The human soul will ever reach for the truth.
Preach it. Just one detail still bothers me. This ship can only be started. Sorry.
I think that's Samus reading. I don't think
Yeah,
that's
I
Adam. Samus is
Mega
also a
Metroid,
robot.
the ship moved on its own, guided by somebody's hands. Is it possible? Adam. Lady, what's troubling you? What a dude.
You wonder how I started the ship? Just think about it.
Wow. They lent me a hand.
Samus has got some pets.
We never see them again, though. As of right now, at least. It's been 19 years since we've seen them.
They all.
Sorry, it's been longer than that. 22 years since we've seen them.
I think it was 19. Oh no,
They're not in
'cause
Dread.
Dread came out 2 years ago.
Unless they are, and I'm just clueless.
Boom! Credits.
Game's
But
over.
It's a
That's
Metroid
that.
game, so you sit through credits. Why do you do that? Because you get to see how they tell you what your percentage
They
of
rate you.
completion was, and then depending on how it was, they give you like concept art.
Imagine if they had, like, live leaderboards for things, for, like, speed runs at the end of this.
It's not on this, obviously, but speedrunning leaderboards are a thing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. There you go.
But, it's done.
Now we just
beat the
enjoy
game.
the credits.
I'm not enjoying this very much.
Well, we can't necessarily hear the music very well because we don't want the mic to pick it up. But it's Metroid credits. This is how they always look. So
Good stuff.
yeah,
I like this. I'm glad we finished it. We needed to finish this. I needed
now
to
it's
finish
done,
this.
and you can
Debug
move in,
Super Mario Club.
Move in peace now, right?
Yes. Knowing I've beaten the game again,
Again.
it will not be the last time.
What if we just do this every year? Every year,
Yeah.
your playthrough of this game just gets shorter, and we see.
Well,
Eventually, in like 35 years,
I want it
you'll
to
just
get
be a
longer.
full-blown speedrunner at this point.
not doing the speedrun.
Not doing the speedrun.
Thank you for all that, but no, I'm not doing the speedrun thing. All right, here we go. What did happen?
Oh,
Never mind. Satoru Iwata. Satoru.
I think
Satoru
it's Iwata
Iwata.
Satoru.
Didn't he pass away? Was he the guy
I
that
think
passed away?
so.
Passed
Because
away?
he was the
Passed
president
away.
of Nintendo. But that I think his
He was
name was
cool.
the other way. So unless it was backwards here, all right, it's gonna tell you how you did, and you'll get cool concept art. And now you did. So that's what Samus looks like.
Is it concept art?
I think it saves in the end of the game. right?
Oh,
Yeah, there's Samus.
I thought that didn't happen.
Clear time.
Unless I.
Depends on how fast you did it.
Oh.
You did it really fast, Scott. Your rate for collecting items is 42%.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I think it saves in the end. So I think you're able to go into your settings or whatever and look at the concept art. There you go. Good job.
I don't know if I've ever gotten that good a time. I don't think I've ever. I've seen the still just
Oh.
from like other playthroughs, but I don't think I've ever gotten.
The stills are
that
different
one.
though, but yeah. So
Sweet.
I think you can go look at it somewhere, right?
No.
No. Oh,
That's it.
Okay, that's the other Metroid games then.
Yeah.
Well, that's the end of the video. Bye.
Bye.